Boo.
All right, I'm going to go to the slate. We're going to do the intro, and then it's going to take a couple minutes, but it'll be fun. So just get your thoughts ready. Start the show.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Welcome to this podcast.
Crazy and it's so obscene. You gotta know where to hide in the big machine. Say it sounds like TV on the radio, so push that sound. I wanna hear it in stereo. Do what you want, it's the will of the people. Nothing holds you back on that online radio. Ain't no love tonight in this city, and here I thought that we had gone steady. We're all
all right, we're in.
There we go.
That was I want to do something new at the beginning of every episode. We're leading it in with a different. I got the countdown. I got Creepy Guy Countdown.
So where'd you get that from?
It's just from a random website of like radio production drops and shit.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like something like some sort of a wrestling thing.
No.
And now the Undertaker comes in.
I got a British guy. Also, I got this because everybody knows we're on
103.8 FM, Talk Radio.
There we go.
I got a bunch.
Keep it going. And we got Scary Movie on,
yeah.
which is...
because I had it's been a football day. We're going to talk football, guys.
Yes.
We got a lot of stuff going on. We got Scary Movie on. I'm going to try and avoid any sports.
We don't want to get... We don't want Roger Goodell busting into our apartment.
A little later than usual, but we're still on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. Subscribe. Click the subscribe button, notification. We're going to be a little late. We're recording on Sunday, but I'm glad we did because I'm hyped because the Bears won.
Yes.
I was also questioning it because we didn't do it last night. Circumstances just failed on the recording.
Yep.
But I'm glad we did it today because I want to kind of maybe switch it up to where we record it after football so we could talk about it because
we could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, again... there's no rules to this, man. This podcast game
as long as it's out
open
on
slate.
the 24-hour period of Sunday, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just got to be quick with the turnover if we do it on Sunday afternoons.
Exactly. Well, I mean, again, I was fully planned. I texted you. I fully planned on meeting you at 7 o'clock last night. I was looking forward to it. I went golfing 9 holes at Roosevelt. Midway through my game, I'm on a hole number 4. I get a text from my supervisor. Oh, Adam, can you look at the notes that you got from the consultant? I want to make sure we're not crunched on Tuesday. I've got a deadline on Tuesday for work I've been dealt with pretty well, but still there's some lingering things. So I had to work last night for a while. And then I worked this morning too, which is just, I'm at wit's end, Keith. I am at wit's end. It's just, the weekends are supposed to be times where you don't work when you're used to working 9 to 5. That's your time off to relax.
Dude, I had a thought. So I worked with this guy at Tender Greens at my shoot job.
Yeah.
And he was the dishwasher from somewhere in Central America, like Honduras or some shit.
Was he El Salvadoran?
I think so, maybe.
Oof, yeah.
Rough he
country.
said something that kind of depressed me, where he was like, he was about to leave Tender Greens and go to fucking Italy and work another 8-hour shift. And he goes, man, all you do in America is work. And he was basically like, I moved here because it's like America. It's fun. He was like, but like all you do is work.
No. That's one of the biggest myths. Just like you say, you're free. Oh, it's the land of the free. No. You are slaves to the system.
I also think that he probably watches movies like Fast and Furious and sees like how sleek, like, oh, let's go to the Miami, we'll go to LA, the beach, go LA, the beach,
Yeah.
sexy women.
Yeah, no.
Like, no, you're going to be working in a kitchen.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
will
16
never
hours a
have
day.
time to
Yeah.
go on the beach
Yeah.
unless you diabolically take over a company.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, I mean, it'll chill out after Tuesday.
See
which
how
is
TV
nice.
changes the mood? I put on Frontline and we got very serious.
Exactly, it happens. Are they looking at what
It's
is
like
this, the
some
Acropolis,
Jesus
or-
bullshit. It's like Jesus' first Christmas.
Oh, is Kirk Cousins watching this right now?
Oh, dude. Yeah,
God.
apparently you were saying he's Jeezy, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What do we got?
Yeah.
New About Last Night? Okay.
It is.
So they remade About Last Night with
Blacks?
Blackman.
Girl, you know something? That's my attempt today.
I would love it if they had if they had this Lenny Kravitz looking motherfucker just straight up be Jim Belushi. You don't call a broad after a day. Because if people don't know, the original About Last Night is actually not a terrible film.
Oh no, that was Elizabeth
it's quite
Perkins.
funny. If there's any moment where Jim Belushi is supposed to be him and tolerable, it's that movie. He legitimately plays a Chicago blowhard who's a misogynist. It was a match made in fucking heaven.
Yeah, he's perfectly cast. Cast.
And so Rob Lowe, young fucking lion-maned headed Rob Lowe, plays.
When he was almost at the same level as Tom Cruise at
Yes.
that point. He was that big of a star.
It's him and Belushi are this fucking power friend duo.
Yep.
They're playing softball. It takes place in Chicago. They go to Mother's. There's a lot of fucking references.
It's definitely one of the all-time Chicago movies.
Yeah.
Kelly's. They drink at Kelly's
They
too.
drink at Kelly's. So the plot of the movie is Rob Lowe and Jim are these fucking players, and the movie starts with them just talking like, you know, so it starts with Jim Belushi talking about, so I'm humping this broad. And like he basically talks about how he's fucking the shit out of this
And by the way,
girl.
he's saying this loudly on the L. if
on
I'm not
the
mistaken.
street, yeah.
It's like in public.
They're
This is
walking
not
down
like-
the street.
It's not him in their apartment having beers, bullshit.
And
you
Rob
know?
Lowe's like, you think she was a pro? Oh, she was a pro. Like it's real classic 80s shitball. It's no Midnight Run,
Yeah,
but it's a good movie.
well, you know,
Midnight Run is the best comedy of the 1980s.
Midnight Run's a good movie. You know something, Keith. Every once in a while, you go up another notch. You go down with the wrestling, but then you go up multiple notches because you're right. Midnight Run is a good movie.
It's fucking
like,
fantastic.
And the writing's solid. Grodin's funny in it. It's good, like straight guy. I mean, it's just it's a solid movie. Good Chicago movie also. Got all the Chicago scenes in it too. But also with About Last Night, you know, it was written by David Mamet. It's based on a Mamet play.
Okay.
Which is interesting. You know,
It is a little, the dialogue, aside from Jim Belushi, the dialogue's not bad. So it's the shitball friend duo.
Yeah.
And Rob Lowe meets fucking Demi Moore, who is not like, I'm not going to be like that whole like hot. She's like, you want to bring her to meet your parents. Like you fall in love with what the fuck? Oh,
are you recording?
I had a quick, oh no, I'm recording. It just
Okay.
shorted out really quick.
Okay.
But what the fuck is going on?
Is it popping? I hear it fine. I hear fine. Just
Oh,
let me
it's
know.
my headphones. Yeah.
It's all good, man.
So Demi Moore comes in and she's like, you fall in love with her. Like she's adorable. She's got
Yes.
an oversized sweater on.
Yeah, she works at like a ad agency in Chicago, like Leo Burnett or something, you know.
So-
and Elizabeth Perkins is her sidekick,
And
who
she's
was in Big.
Who is kind of a bitch. She's like the bitch to John Belushi's obnoxious asshole.
Exactly, yeah, very much so. I mean, they did it well because the couple, of course, is Lowe and Moore.
Yeah, because Rob Lowe's also a shitbag, but he's charming. He's Rob Lowe.
Yes.
So they bang, and at first it's just like a one-night stand. They have a favorite 80s scene of mine where they've just had sex. You've just seen Demi Moore's tits, which is the first big payoff of the movie.
Yeah.
It's an 80s movie, so you're just waiting for it to come.
Yep.
But then there's a scene where Rob Lowe has a new stereo that's the size of his fucking wall.
Yeah, exactly.
And to signify
had
how
one of
much
those.
money he has, because they have to throw
Exactly.
in there, this is the first time you've seen his apartment, so you have to see that he's doing well.
Exactly. That was a status symbol.
They're very
I mean,
successful.
yeah.
So
And they're in some 3-flat, you know, on Sheffield, you know.
yeah. So there's a scene where she sees like, oh, you got a new stereo. And they share 2 giant sets of headphones and they listen to some 80s slow, like fucking in your heart, it's your heart. And they're like listening to these giant cans,
Yes.
and they're just like listen, and like it's just such an 80s like let's listen to headphones together.
Yeah, man, I thought it was like a Seeger song, and she believes in
So
me.
they're
No,
banging
that's actually Kenny
the whole
Rogers.
time. They're like having their little fling. Jim Belushi's like throw this broad to the curb.
Yeah, because
She's
he's
the
bummed out
worst.
because he's not.
They're starting to be
yeah.
like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Absolutely, they are.
She's Yoko in the fucking situation.
Exactly.
So then the friend Elizabeth Perkins hates Rob Lowe because of Jim Belushi.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
There's a great scene.
They're at Mother's, which is such an 80s.
There's a great
fucking
scene
bar.
where Rob
God.
Lowe Demi Moore is moving in with Rob Lowe at this point.
Yes, absolutely.
And they're helping. Rob Lowe is helping her pack, and he sees a record, and he was just like, "Who's Jastakovic?" And he like says, and she was just like, "It's Jastakovic." Like,
Yeah.
it's the scene to like signify that like, oh, she hates him because he's a dumb fucking moron.
Yeah,
because he pronounces things phonetically like an asshole would.
Yeah, exactly. And they have an arc in their relationship. I mean, and it ends.
Yeah, the relationship ends 2/3 way through the movie. He
Yep.
goes back to being a dipshit.
Yep.
And then all sorts of back and forth happens. John Belushi starts flirting, like Elizabeth Perkins and Jim Belushi start
They have
getting
a
a
good
little
dialogue.
bit of chemistry.
Yeah.
But then the movie ends where it begins with their softball game at Mother's. They're
With
like,
their no glove softball game.
and the game is going on. I think maybe a year has passed. And
Yeah.
fucking Demi Moore shows up at the game. And I think they kind of end ambiguously.
They do.
But they like say hi to each other, and then they make plans again.
Exactly.
And then it ends with them being like, let's hang out sometime. But I think they kind of foreshadow that like they're going to get back together.
Exactly. I mean, it's sort of like they needed time away. They had good. I mean, they had couple fights that seemed realistic. I remember the scene where she rips up her little like towel she made in brownies, because like she was packing her stuff up to leave the apartment, and she's weeping, like talking to Elizabeth Perkins. And then next thing's like Belushi and Lowe getting bombed, walking the streets of Chicago with a bottle, which, by the way, you can do that in that city.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that in that city.
So even though it's a meatball-y cast, it's not a horrible movie.
No. About last night, so they made it African-American. They made it urban.
I think Kevin Hart produced it, and he's in it. And I've heard from even black people that it is not a very good film.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not.
Well, out with loudmouth pal Bernie, who's Kevin Hart, Danny, who was the Lenny Kravitz looking motherfucker, meets successful businesswoman Debbie, who's as leery of relationships as him. However,
She's
Danny,
into
yeah,
me.
it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, when they drink at Kelly's. They drink at Mother's a lot. They go to Cubs games together. I mean, there's a montage sequence of when their relationship is starting to take off. And they do all the classic things Chicago couples do.
Yeah.
Go to a Cubs game. Who Cubbies? As I did, of course.
Everyone goes.
done.
Cubs games are fun, dude.
Yeah, sure. But I'm sort of down. I'm down on sports because the
Vikings
I realized
lost
that they
today.
blow.
So it was
They
week 1 of the
blow.
NFL. Well, it's a weird year this year. There's
yeah,
no.
it's-
You know what though? As far as watching it on TV, no fans in the NFL has because the way they frame the camera, you never see the crowd.
Yeah. It's not really been that big of a difference, and they pipe in some low-level crowd noise. I think. I mean, it's just, it's going to be an odd year.
It's going to be an odd year. My Bears won.
They
Mitchell Trubisky played like absolute ass for 2.5 quarters. And then all of a sudden played like a Pro Bowl quarterback, threw 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, I know. Well, that again,
Finished with 242. I think he was 20 of 36, 242 with 3 touchdowns and no
16
interceptions.
incompletions. No picks
Well,
is good.
here's where you could compare how good his second half was. He was 8 for 20 at one point.
Yeah.
And finished 20 for 36.
Yeah, so he was 14 of 16 or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, exactly.
From like the end of the third quarter on, he was pretty much.
Well, you gotta
to say
play
he
well
had
in
a
the
good
fourth
half
quarter.
is a little generous. He had a really good fourth quarter.
That's the quarter that matters, but still, those Motor City kitty cats, they figure out ways to lose football games.
So my
man.
buddy Mike O'Keefe, comedian Mike O'Keefe, lives in Chicago, Detroit native, loves the Lions. And I was talking my shit. Well, at first it's a good thread because I was real. Like when Mitch was talking shit, I'm just like, guys, I think he's bad, right? Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I am a fan of the Bears, so I will root for anyone who is the Bears quarterback.
Good for you. I won't.
And then he started
Vikings.
playing well, and I was just like, money, Mitch. Like I go, guys, I'm back. Disregard everything I said before. Mitch is the
Yeah,
fucking.
because I saw some of his early numbers and throws, and I was like, uh-oh, you know?
Oh, dude, in the middle of the game, NBC Sports put out an article where fans were saying we need to just tank and draft Trevor Lawrence.
God, sometimes
It annoys the shit out of me.
I know, it's
because what people need to realize that drafting anybody is a coin flip. Even Mahomes was a coin flip. He just got drafted into the greatest quarterbacking coach of all time, the greatest staff of all time. It doesn't happen like that all the time.
Exactly.
I think the last quarterback who went into the draft with a solid "this guy's going to work out" and actually did was Peyton Manning.
No, I mean, I think there's been other quarterbaks have been known, obviously, that they would be decent.
But known, I'm saying like shit.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Let's do this. Should I set this up? We lost. Do we still have camera? Do we still have camera?
No, we have it. It's just all fucking flipped up. I have to fix it.
Is it?
As long as it's good right there, as long as it's standing up.
Okay, you keep talking.
Okay.
I want to hear your point.
But like, I just feel like
How's it looking?
It's great.
Good.
For
Cool.
people to think
Good little
that
camera.
the fix is to just lose and draft Trevor Lawrence, who's supposed to be the next Patrick Mahomes or whatever the fuck, what if he busts?
Yeah.
Like fans cry so hard that they want the organization to listen to him. Like, okay, we'll tank and draft Trevor Lawrence, but what if he busts? Are you going to fire yourself from being a Bears fan?
Well,
I just think there's this need for them being like, we don't like this guy. We want to be right. Get rid of him, tank, and get who we want. Well, but what if that doesn't work?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, this is Mitch's last year to be like to prove
He's got to do it
something,
consistently.
And I think this would be the year for him to show up because I think, frankly, the crowds aren't going to be there. I mean, it should be. It shouldn't be the same pressure.
Here's what I will say, though, because that was
a
a big argument going in. Do you think not having a crowd will benefit him? I think we can see by the way he started the game, it don't matter if there's a crowd. Someone made a great point on Twitter. He's a rhythm player. If he doesn't start well, it's going to take him
a while.
He was garbage the whole first half, and it's because that first drive, they had a couple good runs, and then the first time he overthrows someone, I think he realizes
the confidence of,
because I think he realizes like, fuck, everybody's tweeting now, like first incomplete pass. Fuck, they want to bench me. They want to, like that gets in someone's head.
You can't think about that.
So then the second half, he started getting into a rhythm, and the second he completes 2 or 3 passes in a row, he's fine.
Yeah.
You just need to get him to do that immediately.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I mean, it just, I watched the Viking-Packer game, which was the featured game on Fox.
Yeah,
the featured early game. I watched, I didn't watch a lot of it. I watched a chunk of the first quarter. Was Zooming. Then I had to have a call with my writing partner at 11 o'clock to discuss because we're having our Zoom table read on Saturday, which is a big moment for us to see how it goes. So we were just discussing, last minute things, instructions we want to give people, blah blah blah, things like that. So I don't really pay attention. But I swear to God, Keith, every time I turned the TV on to watch the game, the Pack was within the 5-yard line of the Vikings. Every single time. When I watch them, this is the truth. I want to go back. I don't think the Minnesota Vikings have ever stopped Aaron Rodgers on a 3-and-out ever in his entire career with the Pack. Not one time, even when they had good defenses. And now the Vikings have a basically a totally redone secondary. It's very young, and they got sliced up. They got sliced up. When I watched it, I was like, oh, God, they're not getting enough pressure. Rodgers is always hitting. When Rodgers doesn't make a completion, it's like, oh, my God. Like, it's literally a jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't complete a pass, Aren't
people starting to get on the Vikings coach now for also kind of not being being a little too defensive-oriented?
Well, no. I mean,
would you say...
It's not just him.
Would you say Cousins would be better with an offensive coach?
No, I think the problem with Kirk Cousins is he has an Excel spreadsheet and he breaks down every day of his life in 10-minute increments. So the problem with Kirk Cousins is he's an uptight, tense dude, and it's in between his ears.
A little bit the same problem with Mitch, except for I think Mitch's problem is he's very in the clouds all the time. Where like He's not very assertive when he talks.
Yeah.
He feels when he doesn't do well, I feel like he thinks he's letting everybody down.
That dude is in it. That dude was in Grease too.
Yeah,
anyway.
man. He's also he's Shooter McGavin, baby.
Yeah, he was in episodes of Next Generation. But no, go ahead though. Go ahead. Yeah.
I just think like how Cousins is so meticulous, and whenever you break off schedule,
he can't
it
handle
flusters
it.
him.
Yeah,
And I think Mitch is this fucking kind of timid guy where when he feels like he's doing bad, he cracks. I think they're just mentally inferior people.
Well, I mean,
not mentally inferior,
yeah.
but NFL standard wise.
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
to be like a fucking soldier in the military.
Yeah, and also, or incredibly cocky and just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, just like, hey, listen, I threw an interception. I can just deal with it. You know, each play is its own independent thing. I don't let the previous play affect my next play. You know, it's just Cousins. You know, at the end of the first half, and the Vikings were getting handled. They were down 15. Well, here's what happened: the Vikings got up 7-3. And the Packers had a good drive, and they had first and goal at the 1 yard line, and the Vikings stopped them on four straight plays. So it was fourth down, and they didn't score. So the Vikings got the ball back at like the foot line, and I thought that I was like, they're going to mess up the exchange here. I bet you the snap is poor, or the handoff to Dalvin Cook is poor.
Yeah,
they botch up the snap. Well, then it ended up being a false start because they weren't on the same. I was like, they're going to be all tense. So I was like, the next play, I was like, they're going to get a safety on this. They're going to blitz them, and they're going to get a safety. Cornerback blitz, boom, safety. So it's 7-5. They do the punt. They get a good return. They get the ball at the 45-yard line. It's just like they had a drive, got a field goal. It's 8-7. They get the ball back. The Packers do. It's another get a touchdown, 15-7. I'm like, they got to just get to halftime. It's late in the first half. You know, literally a minute left, 40 seconds left. And they do a down and out pattern to Thielen, about a 25-yard pattern. And Cousins and he had time. He threw it to the inside, not to the outside towards the out of bounds line where only the receiver can make a play. He threw it to the inside. Thielen had to go reach back. He tipped it, went up in the air. They picked it off. I was like, oh, they're going to score a touchdown now. 2 plays later, touchdown pass. So it was like at the end of the first half, when you have a big play like that, it's death to your team. I was like, oh, well, they're going to lose now. So they were down 22-7 at that point. I was like, I literally watched none of the game after that. I just knew they were going to lose. I mean, I just knew it, you know. So I just didn't. And I ended up working. I ended up doing work on my Excel spreadsheet that I'm putting my finishing touches on for a $7 million loan
spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, that's why I was having nervous tics doing it. It was making me think about him. But anyway, yeah. So we're doing the show today on a Sunday. It's a little out of character. We're watching About Last Night with midget Kevin Hart and.
Who just for a good portion of this movie had a shirt with it looked like he was a male stripper.
Yeah, was this like a costume party they were doing or something?
I think so. I think it's like a Halloween party.
You know, okay, and they were just doing that. So, and then girls, I was like the girl who dresses up like a slut on Halloween. Ooh, I'm the sexy nurse. Ooh, let me play doctor with you.
I think this is like sophisticated people. This is like business.
Well, now it is. Yeah, it is. Oh, there's a moment there, isn't there?
Want to hear it?
Yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Look, I'm telling you, you want to clear $400K at the end of the year without lifting a finger, you invest.
You
Passive
fucking
income, that's how you
take
pay
advantage
yourself.
of old people.
What you do is you don't work in the nonprofit sector.
Restaurants.
That's one thing you don't do if you want to do that.
I work. Active income. It's kind of a cause and effect thing. You actually work, someone actually pays you for the work. It's an experimental thing a few companies are trying. You know.
Danny's a salesman.
I can see. I mean, he's really selling me on something. So how did you and Debbie meet?
Cousins.
Danny.
Yeah, I'm just
Come
trying to
on,
make conversation.
Danny.
Okay, Chief. Don't let me stop you.
Yeah, man. Just hates him at the party, man. We're just young, smug pricks, man. That's what we are.
What the hell was that?
That was Steven. Wiping his dick with money that could save people's businesses. That's what that was.
Why are you so angry?
Who said I'm angry?
What do you call this, calm? My boss is not why you're mad, Danny.
Listen, Danny.
I'm not scared.
Talk to me.
Are they dating or are they just colleagues?
Do you know what I think helps the relationship and like the arc of Rob Lowe becoming an asshole that I think hurts in this? Demi Moore has a very raspy, innocent voice. So I think there's moments when they argue where you're immediately like, get away from this asshole.
Yeah, like Lowe's being a prick.
Like, I think there's immediate, like, we're going to make the female a little more powerful. Like, in the About Last Night, I don't remember them. They don't really sell Demi Moore as, like, an equal to Rob Lowe. It's just another woman. The friend is more the equal, like, the one that looks out for Demi Moore.
Yeah, the cock block, Elizabeth Perkins.
Well, she's a cock block, but I do think she's there to, like, I'm looking out for her.
Exactly. You know,
where
that's
I
what
think
girlfriends
this
do.
character doesn't need, this version of that doesn't need that friend.
So they're the couple? Are they the couple?
That's Rob
Okay.
Lowe and Demi Moore.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's Black Rob Lowe and Black Demi Moore.
Rob Lowe. Which, there could be a black guy named Rob Lowe.
I'm sure there is.
It's a very
generic name.
we got dudes kissing, baby. I love
RuPaul.
RuPaul's Drag Race, dude. It's a great show. Have you ever watched that?
I heard it's funny. I have not.
It's
seen
really great.
Back to the Future.
Yeah,
to
we
me, one
watched that.
of the greatest.
I was actually thinking that could be a highlight of, because I've always avoided multi things, but let's go back to stuff. Like if something is on again.
That's fine. Yeah, absolutely.
Do a rerun. Part of TV is rerun.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Well, what's good about and this is the truth. The script of Back to the Future, I think, is one of the best scripts ever written. It's so smooth.
Buddy, we got The Rock Walking Tall.
Oh, here we go.
Not on now, but it's coming on at like 4:45.
You got Dumb and Dumber. I saw Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber
in the
is
theater.
fantastic.
I saw it in the theater. I liked it.
Great lines. People don't realize what a memorable movie this is.
Yeah. There's funny moments in this.
Next minute, you're dead meat. But he blamed me. You heard him. Those were his last words.
Oh, they just killed the guy in the fucking restaurant because he died of gas.
Oh yeah, that dude.
He had an ulcer.
Yeah,
which I don't know if that's factually correct. Where like he's got a stomach issue. I think he has ulcers and he needs medicine. But they put hot candy on his hamburger and it kills him.
Yeah, well,
like I don't know if ulcers work like that. He probably would be down for the count.
Yeah,
but
also I don't know if you die from him.
Yeah, because he even says my ulcer. And then here's what kills him. I forgot. The pills, he had rat poison because he's going to kill fucking the old Harry Dunn and Jim Carrey.
Yep.
And they give him the
Duff
rat poison.
in this movie? Duff, who was an MTV personality?
I don't know, but also is Ricky Rocket or Charles Rocket, who was in the 80s cast of SNL and died via...
He committed suicide.
He cut his throat with gardening shears in like a public place.
Ooh. Use a gun. Make it quick. don't do it. Don't use a butter knife to like, you know.
Yeah. Well, when I found that out, I'm like, did he like snip or like slike?
Oh, and he had a slice.
That's where I'm more morbid than people is I felt bad. But when I hear that, I'm just like, but like how with garden shears?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Oh God. Sorry about that, Keith. I don't mean to be rude about that. You don't know, yawn on a podcast, but it happens.
So also the Redskins had a big comeback.
Well, they're not called
They're
called the team from Washington.
The Washington football team.
That's what
I
they're
like
called.
that. It's like soccer.
No,
I
know.
hate it.
Yeah, people thought that they might keep it that way. That was. Is this Duff? Is this Duff from?
No,
from
that's
MTV?
Harry. That's fucking Jeff Daniels. This is
exactly.
I don't know what her name is.
Oh yeah, I think she was an MTV personality. Am I right?
Karen Duffy.
Yeah, it's Duff. Exactly. She was like this cute, hot girl for about 3 years in the mid '90s. You know,
she ends up being an FBI agent.
She was. It was before. She was before Kennedy. Remember Kennedy? The name
Kennedy is a Fox News correspondent.
Oh yeah,
now.
she's a huge Republican.
I think she's more. I wouldn't know this because I don't really fuck with her on social media, but I think she's more like what they would call a classic conservative. Like I don't think she's too insane.
Yeah.
Because I know some comics who are like friends with Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
Like she's like mingles with the New York comedy people.
Yeah. She's just
It's like there were a couple. I think there's still a couple Fox News shows. Like I don't think they do Red Eye anymore, but because he hosted Red Eye, a lot of comics will do the Greg Gutfeld show. Like I think Gutfeld and Kennedy are the last two people that like have some sort of credibility with some center to left leaning people
who themselves are conservative.
Yes.
So is Rogan just hated by the left?
No, Rogan's hated by
women.
Yes.
Is it because is he just too?
But he also
bro-y or
has
something?
women fans. They're just women fans that have boyfriends that are like Joe Rogan.
I've never listened to Rogan's podcast.
It's interesting. The problem why people hate Joe Rogan is because
I remember Duff looking different than that. That can't be Duff. I don't think that's Duff.
I don't know.
God, maybe
It
I'm
said
wrong.
Karen Duffy.
Yeah,
in the cast.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if it's her. And I don't know.
But why people hate Rogan is because he has detestable people on in the name of like, we're having an intellectual conversation. The problem is, and Bobby Hill made this point wonderfully, and as a fan of Joe Rogan, I will admit this.
Yeah.
He's not smart enough to handle the situation. So it gets to a point where he's not asking the correct counter questions.
Yeah.
And after 3 hours of smoking weed with somebody, it's just Rogan like letting people say shit and him being like, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah, man, you're right, Dinesh D'Souza.
Which, if an intelligent person watches it, it's easy to decipher of like they're joking right there or they're really high right there.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just not like to decipher when to kind of pay attention and what to take seriously.
Yeah.
But there are some really stupid asshole people who think Joe Rogan is the smartest person in their life.
Oh God.
So, like, perfect situation. He was joking with Bill Burr, and Bill Burr was complaining that people on his street weren't wearing masks. And Rogan just goes, "Oh, what do you one of those people, you little bitch?" And he was clearly like noticed it bothered Bill Burr, so he started poking at him. He was doing the comic thing of like, "Oh, you little sissy,"
needling him. You
don't like wearing. But a bunch of Rogan fans were like, "See, master bullshit." Like Rogan had to put out a tweet being like, "I was just joking. Like I wear a mask everywhere I go. You should wear a mask." But that's part of the problem is that 100 million people listen to his episodes every week.
How many people he literally has that?
He gets probably some, not 100 million a month, I would say, because every episode probably gets about 10 million.
Jesus.
And he puts out 3 or 4 a week.
Well, because he gets like the A-listers, man.
And now he's on Spotify, and I watched the numbers. When he signed with Spotify, he had 8 million YouTube subscribers. And all his fans were like, "He sold out. I'm fucking leaving. Fuck this." He has almost 10 million YouTube subscribers.
Yeah. Why
now.
wouldn't he do that? Exactly. Get 2 more people to fucking listen to him.
And then, so that's why people hate Rogan, because he kind of will just let anybody, even one of his friends.
Hey man, under
one
the
of
guise
his friends
of freedom
went
of
on.
speech.
The first Spotify episode he did was with Duncan Trussell, who has a show on Netflix called The Duncan Trussell. It's like this weird cartoon where they take clips of his podcast where they just talk about acid and shit.
Yeah.
And they put it to a cartoon. And the last episode's great. It's this conversation he has with his mom. Like this real deep
when he's
conversation.
tripping balls.
No, they're not tripping, but it's on his podcast. Like it's an interview with his mom, and they animate it. And like I guess multiple people were like, "Oh, I cried during that episode."
Wow.
So he was on. He's
Just a
really good
podcast.
friends with Rogan.
Yeah.
And it was 5.5 hours long, and by the end of it, they're just so drunk and high. And Duncan Trussell, finally, the first guest, asked Rogan point blank. He was like, "Dude, I'm worried about you, man." And Rogan was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Well, you're moving to Texas. It's this like right-wing fucking place."
Yeah.
He was like, "What are you going to do if some fucking like white nationalist guy tries to buddy up with you?" And like, truly, like, I know you have assholes on your podcast, but like, what if some fucking real nasty people try and like infiltrate your shit? And Rogan goes, "Bring it. I love them, man. I love him. Come to my house. Let's have dinner. Let's do that." He thinks. Do you know that Black Klansman guy?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan thinks he's the Black Klansman guy. Like because he had him on his podcast. He had that dude on his pod, and I think it really did. Like, oh, you can just do that. You can flip racist people if you just show people love. You could change how people think.
Yeah. Why? I used to feel like I had to argue in my 20s. That's my young person's thought. I used to think, oh, I can convince this person. I'm going to convince this that they're wrong.
So
That's not going to happen in this culture.
I think that
with these assholes.
I think that's how Rogan sees himself is like. I'm here. Like, you know how Jim Brown used to have like Crips and Bloods over to his house to have like fucking parlays with different gangs.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Rogan wants to do that.
I'm going to bring people together.
I'm going to bring it. Come on my show. Let's talk about it, man.
Yeah, well,
but that's the thing. That's fine if you're like a fucking intellect, like a super intellectual, and you could manage that conversation.
But when you're just like smoking fucking bowls, man,
because that's part of what made Rogan popular is people were like, wow, it goes by so fast. They kind of just talk about stuff and like you don't know, like a 3-hour podcast ends and you feel like it's only been an hour.
Yeah.
Like that's what made him popular.
Yeah.
And now that's ultimately what will be his demise, is because he started out as like, oh yeah, that's like Alex Jones goes on and gets stones and says wild shit. It's hilarious. And then now it's like, dude, Alex Jones goes on and says wild shit on that podcast.
I mean,
Spotify didn't put any of those episodes on, by the way.
Oh, really?
It matched up properly. So Rogan had said that his YouTube channel was going to be for his favorite 100 episodes.
Okay.
And then 100 episodes of his podcast wasn't pulled.
Yeah.
Or they got pulled from Spotify. And it's the D'Elia ones. Any comedian that's been accused of some sort of crime has been pulled of it. The Tommy Chong episode for some reason. Why? Because I think he went to jail for some shit for the bong stuff.
He's benign. You know?
And then like he had Ben Shapiro. That all the Alex Jones episodes were pulled.
Oh, he interviewed Alex Jones on his podcast.
Oh, Alex Jones has been like on 4 or 5 times. The 911th episode 911, they had him on.
Alex Jones is offensive to my sensibilities.
Oh, he's bad.
He's just,
although him being on Rogan gave us the clip of Alex Jones going, I'm a little retarded. There's a clip. They isolated one thing where like he starts talking.
Yeah.
And that's what he leads his conversation with, but it's this nice isolated clip of him calling himself retarded.
Well, yeah, I mean the whole thing,
yes, people do dislike Joe Rogan.
I mean the whole conspiracy side. Yeah. Okay. The whole conspiracy side of just of what's going on is so unhealthy and so poisonous.
It's bad for the world.
You know, it's not a good thing when you're this QAnon thing and everything.
Look at that old school Big Gulp cup. I remember those, the big red Big Gulp cup.
Yeah.
My dad was one of those for Halloween one year.
That was his. He
was a Big Gulp cup. He made it from scratch.
It's hilarious, man.
My dad was a drunk engineer. Like he would find shit in the garage to like one year they threw together like everyone had these dope costumes and he was just like late to it. So he just was a baby. He just he made a diaper and just was a baby.
You know what the easiest costume I ever was generic costume. I took a brown paper bag, cut out eye holes and a mouth hole. And
you were a Saints fan.
And wrote generic exactly. The Aints. The 1980 Aints. They were 1-15. And they drafted George Rogers with the first overall pick of the 81 draft. Running back George Rogers, who I think won at least won one Super Bowl ring with the Redskins in the 87 Super Bowl team that beat the Broncos 42-10.
It's interesting how those single season runs used to be so legendary, but the Browns have strung together so many of those that I feel like
bad.
1 in 15 year is forgivable now.
Oh yeah, I mean you're gonna have a year
to where now that would be the end of it. Wasn't it the early on stretch was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? The Tampa Bay Bucks didn't win a game for like 2.5 years, right?
They were when I was a little kid, 8 and 9 years old. They lost their first 26 games of their franchise. They were 0-26. They beat the Saints on the road 33-14, and then they won the next week at home. They beat the St. Louis Cardinals with Don Coryell. It was his last. Hank Stram got fired after Tampa Bay beat them, and then Don Coryell got fired, and then went to the Chargers, where he made Air Coryell with Dan Fouts. So in the 77 season, Tampa Bay won their last 2 games. They were 2-12 that year. 0-14, then they were 2-12, and then there was a 16-game season. They were 5-11. But they had drafted Leroy Selman. Then they got Ricky Bell from USC, who died of cystic fibrosis when he was 29 years old. But he was good in his early 20s before he got the ailment. And then they drafted a couple. They had Doug Williams also, so they got good. From like 79 to 82, the Buccaneers, those Dreamsicle Buccaneer uniforms, they were actually competitive. Then they stunk in the 80s.
Another interesting stat that probably should have existed earlier is week 1 of the NFL, 15 black quarterbacks started.
15 black quarterbacks started?
Week 1 this year. It's the most ever.
Another example of the white race being under attack, Keith. If there's one thing we can all agree on.
Oh, dude, if you would have
told... The white race is under attack.
If you would have told your uncle that in 1984, that in 2020, the best football player on planet Earth will be a black guy with a mohawk, and there will be 14 other starting quarterbacks
that are black. I
Yeah.
can tell you. I remember
But
being
Chicago will have a Polish kid.
They had Vince Evans. I give
it's
the Bears credit. They've had Vince
Dude, you
Evans.
know what? I just was talking to my dad before we went on the air, and he was like, I was like, Bears won, and he goes, yeah. He goes, I still hate that fucking quarterback, though. And he goes, that fucker's like Bobby Douglas.
Yeah.
He goes, he's a wild-armed fucking ass.
Yeah. Bobby Douglas, who also pitched for the White Sox. I mean, I think he had like a low 90s fastball. He had a great arm.
I will
He didn't
say,
know where
though,
it was going.
I will give Bobby Douglas a little credit. Bobby Douglas has a better arm than Trubisky. Douglas had a legit cannon.
Oh, yeah.
He just
didn't
couldn't
know-
put
yeah,
anything
yeah,
else
yeah,
together.
he didn't know where it was going.
Mitch is better on his feet and is a better soft thrower, but Mitch kind of has a noodle arm. He can't really fire it.
I mean, yeah, I can tell you with the quarterbacks, I remember hearing distinct conversations in the late 70s and early 80s with my father, with my uncle, family, 4 or 5 guys watching a football game. I was a kid watching the football game with them. And like my father, seeing Doug Williams was kind of whining after a play to the ref. He's like, look at that guy just whine. They just whine all the time. It's like, yeah, when he says they are, immature and
he wanted
whining.
to say the N-word so bad.
Well, he was good about that. He never said that around me. I never heard him drop the M-bomb one time. I feel fortunate
Your
about
dad?
that with my family. No, never said it.
Yeah, I'm not that lucky.
And just, although he would say things like, I think they're on black people time. Like if someone was late, it was a BPT. We got BPT going on. But I mean, literally, I remember distinct conversations like, yeah, but something, I just don't think blacks can lead. Like literally saying things like that.
Yeah.
Like direct statements. Like they wouldn't be a good leader for to be a quarterback. I mean, you had to be a white quarterback back in the day. A white man was a quarterback.
And I'll even argue, I'll play devil's advocate, but on the opposite. I wouldn't say black people aren't good leaders, but I would say in the 80s and 90s, a team of white guys would probably have a hard time getting behind a black quarterback. Like I'm like, not to say that black people aren't leaders, but I think a team wouldn't acknowledge a black quarterback as their leader. I think McNabb was the fucking breaking point of this guy's a legitimately great quarterback.
Doug Williams was definitely the fact that he won a Super Bowl
because he was a backup, right?
Well, Williams was
He
started for the Buccaneers, for the Buccaneers, and then frankly, he also played for the I believe it was the Arizona Outlaws, or the Oklahoma Outlaws of the USFL. And then he was actually out of football for a brief time. But Gibbs, pardon me, Joe Gibbs was his quarterback coach at Tampa Bay before he became the offensive coordinator for the Chargers, before he became the coach of the Redskins. And so, I mean, when he was young in his career, Gibbs Williams liked Gibbs. And then Gibbs became the coach of the Redskins. So, I think literally no one wanted Doug Williams. And Gibbs was like, come on in and try out.
Yeah.
And he was a backup for Schrader.
Gibbs saw that arm and he was like,
well, his arm was amazing. What did he say?
He was like,
yeah. but I guess he was like, Williams. I mean, Williams very much liked Gibbs. Gibbs defended him, was always on his side. There you go. Breathe the air out of your tire. Now you can survive.
Transporter 3, dude. My favorite part of the transporter is you pay him to move stuff for you. He doesn't ask what it is, but when you tell him what his job is, you write it down on a piece of paper. He looks at it and then he sets it on fire in front of you.
So he's the only one who's gonna remember it. Yep.
I remember it. It's gone now. It's like the Inspector Gadget.
I can do this.
This message will self-destruct.
Who wants to breathe that tire air?
Right? You're inhaling 9/11.
Yeah. Oh, God. Speaking of which,
yeah,
it was a 19-year anniversary. And again, I've asked you before.
It's getting along.
So you were 14?
Freshman. I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah. I was in my second or third year of my career working at the city.
Oh, yeah. You were downtown. So did you get to leave work early? We got out of school because they said we were close enough to Chicago to be deemed a threat area.
Well, it was interesting. I remember I was going to the bathroom and this guy, Rod Barker, who was a architect, said, I guess a plane flew into the World Trade Center. And I was like, I thought it was like a Cessna, like a small just a mistake. And then I went back to like working on my computer, and like a half an hour later, I was like, another plane flew in, and I was like, another plane? I was like, well, this is weird. Then work like stopped, and I think someone might have turned the TV on.
The world stopped.
We were told to leave, But I think we had to walk home or something. I don't remember. Yeah. I think I L'd it, and then I was out that afternoon. And then Darren Bodecker came out of my apartment, and we watched it. We're like, "Yep, this is it. This is
smoke a little reefer."
No, actually, we didn't. I was just like, "This is it. I mean, this will be a pivot point." That was the true end of the '90s. And our country is still reeling from that experience.
What was your vibe for the Vikings going into that?
What, for the 01
for that
season?
Because that was the beginning of the football season.
Well, yeah, no, I knew that.
Like pre 9/11, I'm not saying after, like, because football stopped for 2 weeks, obviously.
That was Green's. That was Green's last year being the coach, and he had worn his welcome out.
Culpepper was the quarterback.
Culpepper, was in his second year starting, third year in the league. Still had Moss. Carter, I think, God, he left by then? Or he was at the very tail end of him being an elite player. They were bad that year. They were bad. They were bad. They got rid of Green because here's what it was. Reb McCombs owned them, and he was a used car salesman from San Antonio. That's what he was. He was a used car salesman. Exactly, and he was a notorious. My
girlfriend from San Antonio heard that.
Tightwad. I couldn't stand him as the owner. He was horrible. You know, their practice facilities. They didn't have air conditioning in their practice facilities.
Crow.
He wouldn't pay the money to do it.
Perfect example of women hating Rogan. She put her headphones in the second I started talking about Joe Rogan.
Well, as well you should.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reb McCombs owned it, and they were so cheap. They were run so he hired Tice as their head coach. He made $500,000 a year as a head coach. You realize position coaches at that time made as much money as that. He was so cheap they got Tice back, and Tice was there for like 4 or 5 years, and they just wallowed in kind of mediocrity, and it just
was a great.
They did beat the Pack once in the playoffs, and they were 8-8.
I actually heard a great story about, and this is probably why he was bad with the Vikings, because you got Culpepper, Randy Moss, Carter at the end of his career. That's a team you could air the ball out.
But also Robert Smith had retired because he had blown his knee, so they drafted Michael
Play action's
Bennett.
Bad, yeah.
You know, yeah. Well, it was off.
But that's still a team you could move the ball around a little bit. And
defense was
Mike
terrible.
Tice is a run offensive. He was an offensive line coach. So Mike Tice was very much
an O-line coach for the Bears for a while.
Yeah, so he was there.
He was a good O-line coach.
But here's why. Mike Tice was the O-line coach when Mike Martz was the offensive coordinator, and I guess like Mike Tice wouldn't budge for Mike Martz. Like none of his packages matched Mike Martz. There was a philosophy clash.
That's also the GM being a shithead.
Well, because on paper it seemed like we're going to get the best coaches to play with the best coordinators. Like, I think they thought they were making a mega coach team. We got Lovie Smith, this defensive genius. We got Mike Martz, the author of The Greatest Show on Turf. We got Mike Tice, who sure he was a bad head coach, but it's because he was out of his element. Now he's back in his element, coaching offensive linemen.
He was a very good position coach. The Vikings' offensive lines with him in the 90s were totally good offensive lines. I mean, it was their last consistently good offensive lines, you know. Now they're doing this zone running scheme. I don't know, man. They don't have digs, so I think they'll probably improve as the year goes on, but they're not. It's going to be a struggle this year, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a struggle. Their secondary, dude, it's like they have 21-year-olds playing back there. I mean, it's young, you know. So they were not particularly impressive today.
My realist for the Bears, I think they're going to go 8-8, but I want them to go 11-5.
Well, of course you want.
Today was a good start. Today was a good start.
Who do they play next week?
Let me look on my phone. Oh, the phone's up there. I have the schedule as my wallpaper. Let me look. I think they have a pretty easy first few weeks.
Yeah. They have a home game against like the Browns or something like that, or
they play the Giants and then they play the Falcons.
Falcons kind of stunk it up. Which games?
Falcons fucking dominate. I don't know if they won, but they fucking Matt Ryan had a great game.
Oh, no. I think the Seahawks won that game.
Yeah, because Russell had a better game.
Yeah.
So they got Giants, Falcons, Colts. Then they play the Bucks, but Tom Brady looked like ass today.
Tommy?
Although the Bucks got a pretty good defense. And then they got the Panthers and the Rams.
Cam Newton is now the quarterback for the Patsies.
Yep, he did okay.
Yeah, you know, they won.
Okay.
You know, but my fantasy team, man, I was, you know,
I ate ass today in fantasy.
I'm in a dogfight against the cooperators. You know, I'm in a dogfight. You know, it's just.
I had a bad pick. Out of 14 teams, I had the 12th overall pick.
Who'd you take?
I took Drew Brees.
Okay.
I have fucking Nick Chubb as my running back.
That's who I drafted my running back, and they got smoked today.
But they also have Kareem Hunt. I didn't realize they were going to let that wife beater fucking play as much as they were.
Yep.
And then I have Gallup at wide out. I have another wide out.
Galladay, who was out today.
Yeah. I have Jimmy Garoppolo as my optional player.
Okay.
And then I have the Bills defense and the fucking one other backup defense. And then that's pretty much like my team.
Yeah, well, I have Lamar Jackson, who was very good today. But
who's my flex? I got some flexes too.
Yeah, I played James White instead of Sammy Watkins. But I have Rodgers as my backup quarterback. He had 41 points today. Jackson had 35, but Rodgers had 41. So it's the team I played. I played the team who has Deshaun. They have not Deshaun Foster. They have Watson, and then they also have Will Fuller.
Dude,
and I knew they were going to be behind, and they were going to throw a lot, and they got these garbage points.
That's
at the end
another
of the game.
thing that happened this year. So the first game of the season was Mahomes versus Watson, and this was the year that Mahomes made the leap ahead of Watson. Like you even saw that like Deshaun Watson is just a really good quarterback.
Yeah,
like he's not Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, I think, is an evolutionary leap in the position.
And even he altered his game.
I think
he didn't have the cannon. He was very methodical. Like I think he purposely I'm going to show him that I don't need to rifle the ball down the field.
Yep.
I'm going to do little dinks and dives, and I'm still going to get the same fucking results.
Yep.
And you know what they said during the game? He told them to draft that Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They said they called Patrick Mahomes, and he goes, "Hey, draft that kid from LSU."
Yeah. No, that guy's
like
actually,
he knows what's gonna. He knows what he can play with.
Yeah. No, he's a special talent, and if he stays healthy, they got a couple more Super Bowls under there. They're gonna play in a couple more for sure. Maybe win a couple more also.
Yeah.
They're that good, But anyway, man. So the first half, should we a little break
We're
up a little
about
bit?
54 minutes. We can ease into it if you want a little bit. We could.
Let's do a little break, man. Is that
Yeah,
cool?
we can. Yeah, we
I'll
can
get a
break
near beer
out.
if that's cool.
Yeah, fucking. We're gonna take a little break
Here we go.
for the. Yeah, we're here as always on.
103.8 FM. Talk Radio.
All right, we'll see you here in a little bit.
This is part of my routine.
At Blue Cross Blue Shield, we've been protecting millions of people for over 75 years. It's what gives us the experience and understanding to help you find a plan that fits where you are today and where you'll be tomorrow. Get spring break styles for the entire family. Tees and tanks for just $5 and thousands of other amazing styles all on sale. Run to Old Navy. There are moments that define who we are, what we stand for, and where we're going. Made with pride, crafted with passion. Jeep Cherokee. Find love again. Right on the Gulf Coast. Beau Rivage, a feeling like no other. To succeed in our ever-changing, busy world, you've got to create your own brilliant website. Wix makes it simple. Create your website today. It's easy and it's free. Every time you raise a Pacifico, let it be a reminder to live life anchors up. Imagine waking up to the enticing aroma of bacon, sausage, fluffy eggs, and a whiff of delectable hash browns. Stop imagining. Get to McDonald's for the deluxe breakfast platter, because nobody has ever woken up to the fresh smell of cereal.
Get ready.
All right,
We're back with Hello
we're
Larry.
back. Still got that creepy guy doing the intro.
Exactly. Is this? Oh, this is the. Oh, that's the Lambs
we gotta
uniforms.
switch it out. Yeah, I don't really like them now that I see them.
Those Lamb uniforms.
Yeah,
The Silence of the Lambs.
yeah. Okay, let's get into some fucking transporter. You want to do Walking Tall, or do you want to go right into some 9/11 shit?
Let's go. Some people. There's an anniversary that happened this past week on Friday, September 11th, the 19-year anniversary.
You could tell it's 19 years too because people's recollection of it are officially like recalling. It's no longer like within the first 10 years, people were kind of on the anniversary. It was almost like it still happened that year.
Yeah.
Like the tone of the remembrance was like, this just happened. Like, let's not forget.
Yeah.
We're curtailing, we're tapering away from the never forget angle of it.
It is, to me, it's such a, if our species survives, if we survive forest fires and we survive climate change and we survive COVID and they look back a couple hundred years from now, that event is going to be looked at, I think, as a real pivot point. I think it had that big of an impact on.
Do you think COVID will be similar?
Well, I think it'll be discussed. I think it'll be discussed.
The way it'll change. It's not going to. I mean, it has killed more people. That's the thing. But I think in the long run,
it's September 11th. Every 3 days, it's a new September 11th.
September 11th.
What a failure! You know,
September 11th had a more immediate impact of change, where I think COVID.
Yeah, because it was a very stark. Because it was human on human violence. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So here we are, 7 a.m. Tuesday.
Matt Lauer,
September 11th,
and Katie Couric.
We're gonna skip around as we go. This is a 6-hour fucking video.
We can't watch the whole thing.
It'll be fun to watch the commercials though.
Yeah, let's hear what they have to say.
Oh, just to get the vibe of the day.
Yeah.
NBA players outside his restaurant in Chicago on Monday. He told the Associated Press and other
MJ
reporters,
still
quote,
in the news, baby.
For the love of the game, nothing else. For the love of the game, unquote. Reached later by the Washington Post, his airness said he was not.
He had none of his money into that restaurant. He gave his name.
Really,
he was just his hairline was just failing.
Yeah,
at
just
this
started.
point.
Yep.
The economy, are consumers the only thing standing between us and a recession? We'll get the outlook on that.
A recession. There was a recession at this time.
Yeah. Oh, Katie Couric. Katie Couric, my mom. I think Jane Pauley was the one my mom hated.
Yeah, no, I remember Jane Pauley. Absolutely, Jane Pauley and Tom Brokaw were the ones I remembered.
You know who else my mom hated?
Gene Shalit.
Was Joyce DeWitt, I guess my mom hated.
From a Three's Company?
Three's Company. Couldn't stand her.
Ugh, she was terrible. Joyce DeWitt. I'm sure she's living off that money. I mean, they had some
probably.
syndication,
It's still on. It's
the show was on for 7 years.
Probably find it right now.
No.
On Get TV or some shit.
Oh, it's so bad.
That mentioned may be reigning once again. Michael Jordan is poised for a comeback.
He is.
He is just coming back with the Wizards.
With the Wiz?
On the court, he's done it all, winning 10 scoring titles in 13 years, leading the Chicago Bulls to 6 world championships, becoming arguably the greatest basketball player ever.
Basketball
and
player
last night
ever.
in Chicago, the Associated Press says Michael Jordan, quote, all but confirmed he's coming back to the NBA.
Jesus Christ.
To play for the lowly Washington
It sounds like a bad idea even now.
Well, I mean, he couldn't. He was a partial owner of the Wizards. He couldn't stand being associated with the loser. Like it embarrassed him. It hurt him to be associated with the team that was losing. He couldn't handle it. So he's like, I got to go out there and play on my own. Kwame Brown, they drafted Kwame Brown out of high school, who was a total bust. And I guess he went after Kwame Brown in practice, assailed him. And I guess the rumor is too, I think Kwame Brown, there might have been discussions about his sexual orientation.
Oh boy.
And I think he might have gone after him a few times over that. You know,
they talked with Tim Hardaway about his sexual orientation. Tim Hardaway was super. Tim Hardaway said that because remember when that first dude came out, he was retired, but he had said he was gay.
Oh, was that guy from the Jazz?
Yeah, something. He was
tall
like
guy.
He was like a journeyman.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tim Hardaway had said, if he was in our locker room, I wouldn't dress with him. Like if he would have known he was gay, like. And then he said, like, I wouldn't play with him because I'd be afraid to touch him. It was the first time where I think everybody across the board was just like, that's fucking dumb, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, the NBA is the most woke of the leagues. There's no doubt about it.
It wasn't at that time. Here, Bobby.
Jordan's career for NBC Sports.
He's still young looking.
Thanks for coming in. I
Look
know
at those
how you
tiny
wake up in the
glasses.
morning.
Those little tiny glasses have come into the fucking zeitgeist.
Will he or won't he?
Absolutely, he will.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you so certain?
Because he's gone this far along.
Because
he told me.
Because someone has just hijacked an airplane that just left from Boston Logan. That's the reason why.
Here, let's go forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's get some
exactly. So, but this kind of sets it up well. It's a puff piece on Michael Jordan. He's a famous person. He's a star.
I want to try and get into a commercial.
God, I was in the midst of work. Everything's work. I'm so sick of working.
All right, here we go.
That was funny. You know, you said rat tail comb to do her hair. Now, what are we watching
Let me
here?
come do this girl's hair. All right, we're at 8:20. Do you remember when the first plane hit?
Again, I was at work and I was.
I walked into second. I walked into second period. It's coming up, dude.
I always love to see transformations, but it's not like those shows where everyone has to say, "I love it." I feel
Is that Tracy Ullman?
They don't like it.
It does sound like Tracy
The
Ullman.
man with the hat. What's under the hat, Kenzie? What's
All
under the hat?
right, I'm trying to find it here on the.
We don't know.
Oh wow, they're outside.
I mean, he never ages.
No, they don't.
Well, that's
Up.
another thing. We're talking about women
We're
aging
getting
on
there,
the show.
baby.
I mean, look,
All right, we're gonna go to 8:43. Fucking Harry Belafonte.
Man.
really in need of voices that will come to the table with reason and lead people to a new level of
I gotta hear his black talk again.
What if all of a sudden, because you don't, nobody remembers like the little moments, but what if he just all of a sudden goes, "Wait, did you hear that?
It sounded like
I have a feeling." Anyway,
is he still alive?
I think so.
He is. Yeah,
they're a little bit richer than the policies we've been applying all along. That doesn't seem to be taking us.
He's got a great speaking voice.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, he's a professional singer.
Killing, anger.
Did he act too? Was he a big actor?
I think he did a little bit of acting. I think he did.
I gotta be honest. I'm a white guy. I mix up him and Sidney Poitier all the time.
They're of the same era.
Yeah, and Sidney Poitier is considerably blacker.
And he's also he was very much the Denzel of his time. Sidney Poitier. He was in the Heat of the Night. He was in the Blackboard Jungle. He was in.
He kissed white women in movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Look Who's Coming to Dinner. I mean, he was in movies, man.
Yeah,
major Hollywood productions.
When blacks and whites kissed, parents of those times went.
That's the way it is with kids today.
I don't like it. I don't know.
Dude, listen. My dad doesn't. Up until it probably would still make him feel weird. He just wouldn't say anything. But I remember back in the day, like the 90s, my dad would audibly like, "Oh, they're stealing them from us." Anytime he would see an interracial couple, he would have a upset reaction. Like, "Oh, that's one less white girl for us."
There is a mentality out there that has to be extinguished. This zero-sum mentality that somehow someone else's perceived success.
So this is important here.
Is at my...
No, you can keep going.
There's someone else's success is somehow at my expense. Like, I'm going to lose something. There's only a winner and a loser. It's like, no, God, yeah, this is an early
These
odds.
are the true last set of commercials in a different world. Like these commercials are
Columbia. Oh, this is in the DC area.
This is New York 4, I think.
That's why, as a candidate for governor,
no, it's not. This is Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the DC area because he ran for governor in Virginia.
Create jobs.
He's still a name actually. He's a name in the Democratic Party.
Does he still talk like this? I'm gonna create jobs.
Fiscal responsibility. To find out more, call or visit our website. Because you deserve more.
This was very much. I mean, the country had about $4 trillion of debt at this point, and now it's got $24 trillion.
Buddy, your election is about to take a different tone.
Yeah.
Like I said, this set of I want to go through this set of commercials.
Yeah,
because I think. Did someone add this in? I think someone edited this in. Because this is like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
What if this becomes a conspiracy video of them all of a sudden they just animate arrows into it? Come on. Let me go back to the newscast. Oh, there we go.
First, this is today on NBC.
What was he saying?
We're back to it. I think he's cutting away. Let me go.
Yeah, I want to hear what he's.
We're gonna have to hear some. We're gonna have to go through the panic footage for a couple seconds because it cuts back to it.
It's fine. What's crazy about it is that weren't like 11 other buildings also fell down there too, like right downtown in that area.
Okay, here we go. And 4.
I've got to interrupt you right now.
Sorry.
Richard Hack, thank you very much. We appreciate the book is
Richard
called.
Hack.
We're going to go live right now and show you a picture of the World Trade Center, where I understand. Do we have it?
Do we have it?
No, we do not.
No, we do not.
We have a breaking story, though. We're going to come back with that.
That's when the government was changing the footage. When
they went in the night before and put bombs in there. These ham-handed conspiracy theories. No, these guys did it. That's what happened. They were trained for it. They did it.
Fucking guy with his interspersing. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like what this guy did. I get what he did, but I don't like it.
Yeah, let the natural footage
The
unfold.
World Trade Center here in New York City. It happened just a few moments ago.
Well, we were going to watch until the second one comes in. When that second one, I didn't see this. I mean, I saw the highlights later, but I didn't actually see it when it was going on.
There's a couple networks that I think actually were like running live.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think NBC, I think Matt Lauer's mug is on camera. And then CNN, I think, had the actual plane going in. But you hear that's when they go, this is clearly not an accident. But I'm actually amazed at how quiet my school kept this, because this was all going on all morning and I didn't know about it. Like, I walked into second period. We had block scheduling. So each class was an hour and a half. So by this point, it was definitely like getting to be 9 o'clock Central time.
Yeah, exactly. It was in the morning.
And when I walked into second period, the first tower was just about to go down. Because I walked in and I thought they were playing footage from 93. Like, that was my first thing. When I first walked in, when I was going to second period, some weird dude, some weird gangbanger yelled, "We're going to war." And you know what? That was not a place for my school.
Oh, yeah.
So when he yelled that, I was just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I guess. Who? Is he? I thought, was he going to fight somebody or something?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I walk into second period and I look at the TV and I'm just like, oh, is it like the 93 thing? Like, what? And they were like, no, this is right now. And then I immediately was like, oh, that's what that guy meant by "we're going to war."
Yeah, you put it together.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, well, it's interesting hearing from your perspective. I remember thinking about that too, like younger people. When I was 32 when this happened, and so for me, it was like, wow. Well, I just knew, I was like, it's not going to be handled well. They'll use this as a pretext to go to war in Iraq, which is exactly what happened.
Also,
exactly what happened.
My teacher did well in the sense that class stopped, obviously. Like, we didn't have class. We all just sat and watched this.
Yeah.
But I don't remember him actually being like, this is terrifying. This is a crazy event. We all need to watch. Like, he just didn't start class. We all talked.
Yeah.
He started getting annoyed because I was like cracking jokes about everything, because that's what I do when I panic.
Yeah.
I learned that.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never had that tendency myself.
Because I remember at the time it was hip to talk about George Bush being dumb. So I remember I was just making nothing. But I remember one of the jokes was I was like riffing on how, like, oh, he's on vacation right now. Like, I was just riffing on the stuff he was doing while this was going on.
What I recall about this time period, do you remember there was a political scandal right before this? Gary Condit was a congressman from California.
They thought he killed that girl.
Yeah,
right?
or had someone killed, that he maybe had an affair with her. He was married, and he was getting grilled for a couple weeks before this, and then this happened, and that just went to the side. It got totally pushed away.
Let's hear what they're tossing around. Let's hear let's hear the theories.
Yeah, exactly.
What I think is the west side of the building, we can also see some.
I would be awful at that. I'm kudosing him right now of knowing, like, that's probably the west side. I'm terrible with direction. I'd immediately be like, well, that's a wall that's got a hole in it.
There's smoke coming out. There's an obvious fire.
Yeah.
God, yeah. How crazy would that have been to be above that and still alive?
Well, I mean, a lot of them weren't, and and whoever didn't get down immediately didn't.
Yeah.
Most of the deaths were above that fucking
above the impact point. Oh
yeah.
Well, I think
because I don't think, at least in one of the towers, I definitely probably have to look it up. But I watched a documentary, and the fireman in the documentary I watched on the History Channel basically said, when the planes went in, by the time the planes were in, if you were still in the buildings by the time the second plane went in, from the impact zones up, you were pretty much dead.
Oh yeah, you're gone. You couldn't get past that point.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think people way below, I'm sure there was fire and smoke, and it was, ugh.
There's people who said they saw the tail and shit. Like, they were walking down the hallway and they saw a big tail go by the window, and like, boom, and then like they flew.
Jesus.
So like, some people survived above and below. Like, see how like around the impact zone?
Yeah. Yeah, if you were below it, I mean,
and create the damage on the other side.
It was a perfect building to go into.
Well, I mean, it was basically them saying, okay, world, I guess they said the next day.
This is why I don't believe the conspiracy, because that whole documentary I watched, it starts in the 80s, and it shows you the initial point of Osama bin Laden, his entry point into hating America was when Afghanistan was having their civil war.
Yeah.
He offered his support of saying, like, let me help you fight. I think they were fighting Russia or something like that.
The Soviet Union invaded them. That's the reason why the 80 Olympics, the U.S. boycotted the 80 Olympics.
So Bin Laden was like, let me help you with like my guerrilla unit or whatever the fuck. And Afghanistan was like, no, we're going to have the United States help us. We're like, we
think
gave
they
them
were
aid.
involved.
We gave them weapons.
I'm sure they got aid. I'm sure they did.
So that was his initial like, fuck the United States.
Yeah, I think that they're certainly. I don't know much about his story, so I know it's enough, but not a lot. Look at that smoke just bellowing out of it, man. That's a raging fire,
dude. This night, me and my sister got stoned to the fucking gills and watched because all night news stayed on.
Oh yeah,
even
absolutely.
like local news. Peter Jennings was on all night, dude. He became my favorite anchor because legit, I think was on for almost 24 hours.
Why
filibustering 9/11 for 24 hours?
I know that the next day, every single newspaper, this was the front cover.
This particular shot
on the of both towers, I think actually was a front page of every single newspaper in the country the next, or in the world the next day.
We got to go home from school early. I remember that was an immature thing at the time. Looking back on, is I remember being really excited that I got to leave school.
Yeah, well, I remember leaving and getting home from. I think we had the next day off. Like it was. Well, I only got scared when there was the two other planes. The one that went into the Pentagon. The other one was supposed to go to the White House, dude. How crazy is that?
Or I've heard the term Camp David flying around. That they were going to go to Camp David.
Well, I mean
that's in Virginia, right?
No, that's actually in I think West Virginia, I believe.
What is that?
Or Maryland. It is basically like the president, like so his like summer home or his. Like the Camp David Accords, when Jimmy Carter had the signing of the Camp David Accords with Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin for the Israeli peace back in the late 70s, it was done at Camp David. It's where the president goes to they have negotiations there, they vacation there. It's sort of a lot of
Part of me
different
wonders
things.
if they thought that the timing of it was going to be, well, after we hit one or two of the towers, they're going to move the president to Camp David. So I think maybe they thought that like by the time our plane gets there, the president will be there.
And we can take him down. I thought it was going towards they wanted it to go to the White House and they just lost course.
Yeah, well,
they just lost course.
Those people took it down. Haven't you seen the movies?
I don't know if that happened or not.
Well, you never know. That's the best part about the Flight 93 stories is you could do whatever the fuck you want. You can have them say, I know there might have been some people that were able to get on phones because that Barbara Olson chick, she was a Bill Maher guest. He kept her seat open for like a whole month after 9/11.
Wow.
Her husband got a call from her. She was in first class and she said like, we're flying low. Like she basically called him and was like, this is what happened. I'm going to fucking die.
Yeah.
Like we're really low. They probably want to fly. So some people were probably able to connect some sort of phone.
My father had retired from the government, was still living in the D.C. area. And he lived about 2 miles from the Pentagon, and he felt the impact.
No shit.
His house shook. And then he looked out in the corner, there was this giant plume of smoke.
Goddamn.
What had happened, too, he used to work across the street from the Pentagon back in the day. What I guess, another thing that what happened was that plane, it got super low, and then they just totally floored it. It actually knocked down 2 lamp posts, like a lighting post.
That's because it was an explosion, Crocious. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to preface this by saying any conspiracy joke I make is just that. I believe no 9/11 conspiracy.
The one. It was a conspiracy to do it. The people who did it, yes,
the
they
one
wanted to do it.
conspiracy I'll believe is the one, not even a conspiracy, is just the fact that they had evidence that it was going to happen. Like there were memos that the fucking Pentagon brought to the president saying that there is a large attack that is fucking imminent, and I think there it is, and I think
turn.
Yes.
On the shot.
Oh my.
Something else has
You know what?
Let's go back and see that again. Let's go back.
Building.
Understandably so. Many people in the building.
Oh, another one just hit. Something else just hit. A very large plane just flew directly over my building, and there's another.
That's
collision.
a
Can you see it?
impact.
I can see it on this shot.
that's the like we're going to war.
Yeah.
I think everybody in their head they were like, okay, we're going to war. My dad was hammered. We got off school, and I remember being like, yeah, this is fucking crazy, right? Like, you don't even know who did it. And my dad goes, we know. We know. He was drunk, dude. My dad was drunk and ready to go to war, dog.
This whole the whole jingoism, patriotism that followed after this was so gross.
Dude, you know what? I was thinking about this. So It wasn't. Well, Patriot Act was to go into Iraq, correct?
Well, I think the Patriot Act was also about surveillance in the country and stuff.
Because
too,
I remember
and gathering information, and the government got a lot more authority.
I
and
remember
leeway.
when the Patriot Act was being tossed around. I remember even my teachers being like, pay attention to this because this is going to be a moment. I feel like they knew like this is going to be a real moment in developing your critical thinking. Because
yeah, exactly.
This law is really a slippery slope. Like I remember my sociology teacher, he told us that Barack Obama was going to be the first black president because I remember he made us watch his Senate inauguration in 2004. And he said, he was like, this Patriot Act thing, it is, I do believe it's well-intentioned. He goes, but it's a very slippery slope and it's an interesting debate for me to show you guys because...
Pop it up. Google
what?
Patriot Act.
The Patriot Act?
And we'll read a little bit about it. Yeah, because I mean, as I recall, it was very much about like kind of surveillance.
It was basically the government being like, we want your permission to be able to read your emails, touch you at the airport. It was them basically being like, security's ramping up. We need to check people's shit.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I mean, a new government agency was created as a result of this, a new bureaucracy,
Okay.
Russ Feingold was the only senator to vote against it from a progressive from Wisconsin.
So ACLU.org has hastily passed 45 days after 9/11 in the name of national security. The Patriot Act was the first of many changes to surveillance laws that made it easier for the government to spy on ordinary Americans by expanding the authority to monitor phone and email communications, collecting bank and credit reporting records. It just cuts off.
Yeah. So basically,
credit reporting records and track activity of innocent Americans on the internet. While most Americans think it was created to catch terrorists, the Patriot Act actually turns regular citizens into suspects.
Yep.
And I remember at the time people saying that exactly that, but it being under the guise of like, but they kind of have to, like, we're under extremely different circumstances.
That's been used as an argument to violate civil rights since day one.
Even rational people, I think, were conned into thinking like, well, we have to do this now. Like, this is a special circumstance. If this were any other attack, we wouldn't do this. But like, they were here for years and we didn't know there could be more. Like, it terrified a lot of people.
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, this shattered the veneer that America was. At the same time, people knew their history. You realize the White House was burnt to the ground in the War of 1812. Like, so there had been attacks on U.S. soil before this. It just had been a million years.
I'm gonna go, Dan. You want to hear Bush talk?
Let's see what the coverage is right now.
Okay, all right.
Emergency vehicles. Everyone from the World Financial Center has exited and is walking north up to Battery Park North. There's just mass of people walking north uptown of Manhattan. I was happening to look.
I love New Yorkers trying to talk. We got masses of people at Battery Park.
What's interesting to me about what shifted here for me is whenever, like before September 11th, when you'd show a picture of New York, you always show the Twin Towers. You would always show, and then after
that, a lot of movies had to get post-edited. Like one of the Spider-Man movies got delayed by a few months because they had to edit the Twin Towers
take it out
of the fucking thing.
That was always that was New York. That was the symbol of New York. Now it's like it's Midtown.
Well, now it's World Trade Center 1. They've replaced it.
Yeah, it's
because the one that they replaced it with is taller.
Yeah.
And it's got the lights. They still have the lights where the Twin Towers were.
Oh, interesting. I went down there. About 6 months afterwards.
Dog, they've New Yorked it. They've touristed that fucking gravesite up.
Of course.
We're getting a witness saying they are leaning actually right now, which will give you an idea of the type of impact.
So they're leaning. The buildings are leaning. I was trying to see. I want to kind of go towards when the first one falls.
Yeah. Let's go.
I don't want to because also I don't want to get. Okay, I think we're there. I think we're close.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. I'm trying not to avoid getting any but like people jumping out of buildings. I'm not that much of a psychopath.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know some of the footage, like some of the shots, you can see people like fucking.
Yep, yeah.
Because I remember in history class, that being part at that point. By the time I got to it, that was like news footage. They were saying like, this is going to be graphic, but there's people fucking hanging from fucking fire hoses and shit.
Yeah, no, I remember hearing things like They had
like you could tell people were taking, the wall fire hoses that are in offices. Like you can tell people had taken those and like tried to rope down the building. Like I think some people thought like if I could just hang on to the side of the building,
I'll be okay.
Someone will come and get
not
me.
knowing that it was going to collapse.
Yeah.
But yeah. It just. I remember. Well.
Okay, the first one just went down.
Like,
first one just went down.
It did?
I think so.
Let's hear it. See what they have to say. See what they have to say.
Watch what happens in the left-hand tower.
Yeah. Well, narrate it. Well, I shouldn't criticize him. I have 19 years of criticism.
Something there is about to happen, falling away right there.
Yeah. It's gone, Maddie.
Looks like a big chunk of it has just peeled away.
Dude, fucking Brokaw coming in to save the day, dude. Wow. Piece of it has just come broken away.
And the people who might have been.
A bunch of the comics said New York stunk for like fucking months after that.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a weird funk in the air. Yep, absolutely. That's what I heard too.
And then, kind
of a combination of.
I was in science class, fucking. What did I think? Not basic biology. I think I was doing environmental. I was doing environmental lab. I like to do environmental lab because you got to walk around and collect the recycling bins for like it was just an excuse to leave class. Plus, Mr. Stockwell ruled. So I was in environmental lab when this was happening.
Oh, look at that! Look at that dust all around there at the base of it. I knew a guy I worked with when I worked at IDA, my last job before I moved out here. He got cancer.
So you had just started your job.
I've been
in
there
Chicago.
I've been there for over 2 years. I've been there for over 2 years.
Were you out of work at this point? Were you at home watching it on TV?
Yeah, exactly. At this point, I'd gotten home. Yep. Because again, my point I was going to say earlier, the only time I was ever really scared during it was like the third plane had hit the Pentagon, but they said there were other planes and a fourth plane, and I was like, are they going to have one fly to Chicago and fly into Sears Tower or something? I mean, I didn't know what was going on.
There was a notebook, and it was one of the potential I think they had a more grandiose plan.
Yeah.
And in that plan,
whittled it down.
They had every large building in every major city. I think listed somewhere.
Yeah. Look at that dust, how it's all around there. But this guy I worked with got cancer, and there was a cancer related to this because his lungs got all messed up.
At one point, I also wonder if this kind of started the whole. Because at a certain point, even I got sick of stop showing this fucking building go down.
Yeah.
And everything go in.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, honestly. I think the last time I saw one of these videos was the last time it was on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been 9/11 free for the last 5 years.
They've God, look at that! Just smoke.
It covered the whole lower half.
Wow.
It really. So yeah, this was I was just in second period now, because at this point I was like, okay, this is bad. And then I started apparently being too inappropriate because I was making fun of our president. My teacher told me to take it seriously, and I was like, okay, you're right.
I'll never forget when I was in the 6th grade was when Reagan had the attempt on his life by John Hinckley Jr. And there was
he was close to dying. Wasn't he?
Yeah, but much closer than people realized. And there was a guy in my class, Tim Caudell was his name, Tim Caudell. And he was like, I wish it would have been Carter out there. I would have shot him. And my teacher just don't ever say that. I mean, just she was a short little woman. She yelled at him.
What's the youngest you remember your friends getting political? 4th grade was for me. Dole versus Clinton was big because I remember my friends, their parents were Doleites. And I remember my 4th grade teacher just mentioned an election night is tonight. And a bunch of my friends just started going, Dole. And I remember being not just being why do you even care? I remember being well, I know my parents and grandparents are pretty much for Clinton. And even my stepdad was.
Yeah.
I think Dole versus Clinton in my family was pretty much a landslide. Yeah, everybody wanting
Clinton
Bill Clinton.
won that. Yeah, he won that because the country was in great shape. That's the reason.
And
why.
I remember the next day because I'm sure it was regular, but I remember watching that election that night just because I was interested because my friends were so interested.
I lived out here when that happened.
I was in fucking Cherville, Indiana in Sherwood Lake Apartments. And I remember being very almost bummed that like, oh, we're not gonna find out the winner tonight. Like the next day they were still counting votes.
Yeah.
Like I think the tone was he won, but it's not officially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember my friends needling me, being like, "It's not over yet. Dole's gonna win. Dole's still gonna win."
Yeah. And now the process has been completely bastardized. We'll see, man. We got an election in less than 2 months.
I'm willing to guarantee you that one of those friends, I remember one specifically, is probably a skinhead. His brother probably became a skinhead, and he probably became a skinhead.
Did he just have that vibe about him?
Yeah, because we were.
What made him that? I'm just curious.
Because when we entered 4th grade, they created this little crew called the Mob, and it was like the bully crew.
Yeah,
and I got in the fucking Mob in 4th grade. Like you had to get like I remember, dude, 4th grade, I was kind of a mean kid. Like it taught me a lesson. Like there was this, I think I've told this story before, but I'll briefly go over it. There was this one kid named Sean. It's the one true, I'd apologize to this kid if I ever met him. We used to just poke at this kid and we call him gay all the time. So the building's the Pentagon has been hit.
Yep.
We used to just call him gay all the time. Like that was a very 90s thing.
Of course. Yeah.
It got to the point we would bully the shit out of this kid.
Well, didn't he get afraid to go to school?
He got afraid to go to school, and fucking that's my teacher made me laugh though, because we earlier on in the year we watched this movie about bullying called Broken Toy, and it was this very heavy-handed like educational movie that ended with this kid being poked and prodded into the street, like they're making fun of him, but they're chasing him away.
And he gets hit by a car.
And he gets hit by a car, and he dies as a result of bullying. And I remember my teacher took me, this kid who's probably a skinhead, and a few other people, and told us, like, Sean's afraid to come to school because you guys are so mean to him. And I remember that's when I felt really bad. But then I remember she goes, "Do I have to show you guys Broken Toy again?" And I remember laughing my fucking dick off.
Yeah, I remember like getting like in the 3rd or 4th grade to stop vandalism. Like vandalism was an issue. They had like an educational film about vandalism. And it was this, if I remember correctly, there was this one kid in it who had vandalized like his classroom. And there was a teacher who I think had like potted some plants or something that he really took pride in. And they broke the potted plants. And the kid was still in the school when the authorities showed up. He was still in the classroom, like the guy, I don't know whatever happened, but he hid like in a closet or behind something. And he saw the teacher come in, and the teacher started to cry when he saw the potted plants had been broken. And I was like, wow, you made that teacher cry. Like I put it together in my brain that vandalism is wrong because of this teacher crying over potted plants that he took pride in.
Oh, they got the footage now.
Yeah, this is.
We're gonna see the first one go. See, this is when you get stoned at night, though. You really, and they zero in on it. You see like the walls bend out.
Just came down.
You see the jet fuel not getting hot enough.
Hospital, Bob, what's going on there? What can you tell us?
Katie, St. Vincent's Hospital.
He would be like Katie.
Oh, was that the second? The second tower went down first. The tower that hit second went down first,
yes,
right?
I believe so.
Because it was lower down. It wasn't higher up.
2nd and 3rd degree burns, very serious burn victims. They say the smoke inhalation people will probably.
But I love how she was like, they clearly show the building go down, and she was just like, John, what happened?
Yeah.
I would have been like, what do you mean what happened?
Yeah,
you just showed everybody what happened. The fucking building went down.
Yeah.
A lot of people are probably dead. This is no time for an interview. I'm putting out the call. We need help.
This is such a bad experience.
We need first responders.
Such a bad. The country just mangled the response to this.
Well,
mangled.
Crocious. I don't know if you knew, but the next day, everybody loved each other.
Well, it just.
Did you ever see fucking old boys? Fucking who's the Blaze guy? Who's that? Glenn Beck.
Oh God.
In I think the late 2000s. Let me see when the 9/12 project was.
Ugh, he was such a turd.
So
he's actually rational compared to what's out there.
Glenn Beck opines that America was never stronger than on September 12th in the history of the country.
I disagree.
And he was like, I'm going to have a 9/12 march, and it's going to unite fucking the 9/12 on DC.
Harebrained right-wing idea.
So it was check this out, dude. Taxpayer March on Washington, also known as the 9/12 Tea Party.
Yeah, my taxes. The federal government is totally in my wife all the time. actually, you want it to be in your life right now. You want there to be good direction from the top, because maybe it would actually address the pandemic that's killed 200,000 people and will kill hundreds of thousands more. We are not through this. This is not a second wave. It is still the first wave.
Okay, his was different. Glenn Beck's was different.
Yeah.
This was 2009. It was launched on March 13th on an episode of Glenn Beck, a website to promote a group to bring us all back to a place where we were on September 12th, 2001, when America was burning. We were not obsessed with the red states, the blue states, political parties. We were united as Americans, standing together to protect the values and principles of the greatest nation ever created. 9/12 represents the date following the September 11th attacks, and 9 principles and 12 values that Beck believes represent the principles and values shared by the founding fathers of the United States.
I love how they tried to take that mantle.
And then the Tea Party movement took it. The Tea Party movement accosted it.
Yep.
Later in September on actual 9/12. Glenn Beck's was in March.
Well, that was all in response to Obama's presidency.
Yeah.
All of that. We can't have a Negro be the president.
Right? When they say our values are threatened and shit like that.
I know, values.
Wouldn't you want to go back to 9/12 when Lower Manhattan smelled like a tire fire?
I guess, yeah, it did. People, it literally stunk. It was like jet fuel fire building.
Look at that was probably not too much different than how it was on 9/12.
Oh yeah, no, I think I think it literally like smoldered around for days.
Everybody was united because they were all evacuated, so they were together.
Is it falling now?
I don't know. You want me to fucking fast forward a little bit?
Yeah, this is
a little bit.
Yeah,
it just looks like now it just looks like a meme. A lot of 9/11 memes there.
I feel like the Trump presidency has wiped September 11th. I remember going up at Power Hour and it was still talking about it.
I think we got it. I think we got it.
Here we go.
Yeah. We'll give it a little noise
Happened here in New York.
See, they put Brokaw on the horn at some point.
Whatsoever. They're completely shocked and appalled by what is happening. There was
So we're 9:18. I think good to the Today Show was over at this point, I believe.
What time is it then?
This is 9:18 Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you're right. It probably went from 7 to 9.
Yeah.
Very carefully planned and coordinated, and fair to say it has been devastatingly efficient.
He sounds like a doctor giving a prognosis.
Yeah.
There's a tumor in New York City.
On the ground near
I guess he's got a problem
World
with the
Trade
bottle.
Center.
He used to have a problem with
Oh,
the
he
bottle.
sounds like an alcoholic. That's I wouldn't doubt it. You slut bag. Comes home and I abuse my wife. I tell her in a very news voice. I'm sick of it.
You know.
You think I'd be out at the bar? I talk about murder all day. You come home and
he'd tie it on. Those old
fully
journalists used
clothed.
to tie it on.
Oh, they're I was telling her the other day. I was like, with all the shit they put up with, like, I don't blame journalists for being full-blown alcoholics.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
And the plane suddenly
At
veering.
this point, I think everybody was just kind of waiting for it.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah.
Like, I remember at the time being like, you can't get a fucking fire ladder up there.
Oh, yeah. No,
Like, some of my friends were being like, they'll put it out. And I remember being like, are you dumb?
I know, you can't get up there.
Like, we're watching death at this point.
Yeah. This is...
I shouldn't criticize me at the time. We're doing it now, but... This is, dude, 19 years ago. That's when you know we're old. Like I was saying a couple weeks ago, how that they had in East LA, they had a container of 90s shit that had like 90s logos.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is vintage now.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
I'm officially an old person.
Yeah.
This motherfucker I work with doesn't know who the Gorillas are, dude. And that came out in 2005. You know who the Gorillas are?
I do, of course.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel Good Inc. And that's because I don't sing songs. I'm not like I'm too white.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you've never heard the Gorillas? But part of me was like, he's heard the fucking Gorillas. It's just an oldies song to him because this motherfucker was born in 2002.
Yeah, I know. NFL players, rookies now, are born like in 99.
Oh, yeah.
98, 99.
I remember when I used to create players on fucking... It doesn't happen yet.
Oh.
I remember when I create players on video games, 1993 was the youngest year. Like, if you made your player born in 1993, that meant he was like 17 years old.
Wow.
But now it's like you can hit the 2000s.
Yeah.
With like a soccer player, because you can be 15 and play professional soccer.
Jesus Christ. all those guys are walking to their grave. You know,
like there's truly, that's what's wild to me about all of this is that's where I think COVID will match 9/11 is it's a pre and post world. Like there is a generation of kids who don't know a world where the word terror is not one of the main things.
Yeah.
I remember when terror, like I remember even shortly after this being like, I'm sick of hearing the word fucking terrorism.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. Like in one breath you're saying, let's move on and get over it. But then like all you guys talk about is terrorism now.
Again, and I'll say this, I said this before, as I've always brought up in episodes past. Again, this shattered the post-Cold War. Because the Cold War era ending for 10 years was a great time period, and then this shattered that. It pivoted from, it's not post-Cold War, now it's post-September 11th. You know, the Cold War was truly in the past at this point.
Some of the done blows as to what at this point that other it did. People, that air lower media.
We were standing with Secretary Rumsfeld, security.
Rummy.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he was a turd. He's in the northern suburbs of Chicago.
I think he's
like
one of the
Will Mann or
guys
something.
that, like, out of anyone, Rumsfeld should be, like, totally in jail.
Oh, he's terrible. I mean, the Bush administration had so many...
There was, as I said earlier, an indication that another plane may have been hijacked and headed in this general
All right,
direction.
so this is the final
So far,
moment.
all we see are security helicopters circling the Pentagon. Again, the skies
NBC
are crystal
4.
clear blue, and I can't see
NBC's always 4.
I love how he's doing the weather all the time. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Not only to tell
He's just like, it's a crystal clear blue sky here.
Well, that was part of the reason why they chose it, is that they knew it was going to make good footage.
Beautiful.
I remember it being a beautiful day in Chicago, because Chicago in September is great. That's the best month of weather in Chicago.
The other tower of the World Trade Center has just collapsed. You are looking at live pictures of the
Yeah. But, like, I think COVID will have the, like, pre and post
Yes,
effect.
absolutely.
Of, like,
although,
as far as, like, people worrying about diseases, there's definitely going to be some sort of government fucking law where they could fucking read doctor records to make sure you're not making fucking
snake oil, like shit you're trying to sell.
To make sure you're not cooking up some sort of fucking disease. Some fucking family practice guy isn't making a dirty bomb.
Well, I mean, I can tell you with COVID is permanent. It's going to be a permanent thing. They just got to. The post will be when they find the vaccine.
And even
it'll be like flu season and COVID season. You know.
And part of me wonders if it's even going to be like COVID season, where it won't necessarily be a cure. It'll just be a shot you have to get every year.
Exactly, like a flu shot.
That'll be the new argument. Is did you get your kids a COVID? That family didn't get COVID vaccines. Like that's going to be the new reason to.
I don't believe in vaccinations.
Yeah,
the government.
I know some
is not going
psychopaths who have said, "I vaccinate my children. We just had to do it because they can't go into school, and I will not be giving them a COVID vaccine." Because there's people who think they're injecting microchips into you. Yeah. Which how does that not hurt? How can you inject a microchip into somebody and not have them immediately go
look
like
at that smoke? How
you put a microchip in me?
Yeah, it's literally like all of Lower Manhattan was just in a big haze. It
really was. It really was.
Yeah, I remember I went there like in 2002.
Honestly, looking back on it, 19 years of thinking about it, they should have went to some sort of alternate programming because for the rest of the show, it's just a smoky Manhattan.
Yeah.
And them talking to people with like, I was on the east side. It's the same story from different angles.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
becomes fucking Rosh Hashanah or whatever. Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah.
It's coming up, right? Isn't it coming up?
No, that's the Kurosawa movie about the rape. The rape from 6 different angles.
I thought it was.
Yeah. Well, now they got to start fresh. Now we got to show all the good shots.
There we go.
All right, we're gonna fast forward.
Yeah.
Here. How does it end? Oh yeah, see, like you fast forward, it's just smoke.
Let's just see what they would say.
Let's hear. This is 5 hours and 20 minutes into coverage.
Analytically, there probably are 4 possible candidates. There's the Osama bin Laden al-Qaeda group that you've been talking about. there is the possibility of a Middle Eastern group such as Hezbollah or the Palestinian
Hezbollah. We couldn't even pronounce these names right. If there's any silver lining to this, is we learned the names.
Yeah.
After
attack,
this,
and that would be Iran and Iraq. So you have probably not more than 4 suspects.
How do we begin to find out who are...
All right, and that's 9/11, folks.
Yeah, exactly. We had the anniversary of that. Yeah, it's almost been 20 years. It's almost been 20 fucking
Yeah, man,
years.
I'm old, dude.
You are.
You know what, dude? I am completely shocked. My tone of my friends at the time was like, this is happening again in like 5 years.
I kind of thought, honestly, I thought that they kind of shot their wad with this. I thought that,
All my smart friends were like, no, it'll be something different.
Yeah.
That's why my immediate wild brain when COVID first hit, I was
you
like,
are so
this
prone
is
to the
it.
conspiracy.
Bro. But I'm smart enough to be like, no, that's dumb.
It's just that.
That's dumb.
But the biological thing. I remember after that, people were wearing masks after that. They were worried about
dude, all the new posts
about anthrax
after 9/11. All because when you're a kid, you see all the documentaries about potential cataclysmic situations that could happen,
exactly.
weather, terror, some
war,
sort of thing.
yeah.
When I was growing up, it was always nuclear war or terrorism.
Yeah,
they kind of called 9/11. After 9/11, since that had already happened, the new thing to make a documentary about was biological warfare.
Yes.
Like I remember people actively saying, like the next big attack is going to be some sort of smallpox or flu breakout.
Yeah.
And so forgive me if when COVID happened, I just thought of those documentaries being like, oh shit. They kind of like...
Yeah, but I think, there's...
I didn't think it was a fucking biological attack. I was just saying like, oh, if it is, this is what it would be like.
Yeah, maybe a slow burn.
It would just
more
be, it would be with botulism or something like that. It would be a disease where the second you inhale it, you fucking turn to ash.
Well, what movie is this?
Pacific Rim.
Oh, never seen
where
it.
Children get into robots and pilot them against creatures. This is the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion just stolen in a different fucking...
Do you know what... I just read in The Economist. They point to Pacific Rim as being a tipping point where Hollywood went more Asian, like more Asia in their kind of marketing and types of movies
That's
they
fun.
made. And knew China was a big market. Because I guess this movie made more money in China than it made in the States.
Well, yeah, because it's Neon Genesis, dude. Everybody had been wanting to make a Neon Genesis movie, but the big argument against it was whoever made it wasn't going to white up the cast. They were like, we're getting Japanese because you can't. They were all of the American versions of the cartoon were like the main dude is Shinji Ikari.
Yeah.
And it was all like Ben Parker. Like they would white up the names and it was like, no, we're going to do this. And Hollywood was like, no, we have to do this. An American movie has to have an American cast. That was like the drive at the time.
Yeah.
So when Pacific Rim came out, I think by that time that it had been plowed over that they're like, well, we like the idea, but we're just going to do it as a different movie.
Yeah.
And by the time it actually got made, they were like doing more diverse shit in Hollywood.
Yep.
So I think if the cartoon and manga had come out a little later, Pacific Rim would just be a remake of it. But
interesting.
The idea for it came out too early.
I never saw Pacific Rim. Wasn't it a Guillermo del Toro?
It's decent,
director?
yeah. It just was disappointing at the time.
I had a buddy who said it was actually a decent enough movie. Yeah,
I think people were expecting like Lord of the Rings though type of shit.
Yeah.
Like I know he didn't do Lord of the Rings, but at the time, like it was the beginning of like this is going to be the new franchise.
Were you a huge Lord of the Rings fan?
No, because I was a big Star Wars asshole. So I remember being like, no, fuck that. Because everybody kept saying...
So you went up a notch.
Because everybody kept saying...
I like Lord of the Rings,
it's good.
Yeah,
it's really good. But I remember at the time, all my friends being like, this is our trilogy. This is our epic. And I remember being like, no, it's not.
No. Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi is the true trilogy.
Yeah.
But I like those movies.
The third... They wear out their welcome, dude. The third Lord of the Rings is almost 4 hours long.
Yeah.
All 3 Star Wars movies are 2 hours and 9 minutes exactly.
Wow.
On the fucking nose.
Yeah,
the credits hit 2 hours, 9 minutes. And at the time, that was probably like, Jesus Christ, George.
Oh, yeah. It was, absolutely. It was epic.
We got the end of we're closing in on Walking Tall.
Walking Tall,
at 55 minutes though. Do you want to keep going? Are you still good to go? Or?
I'm getting a little tired, but I'm getting a little fatigued
out of it.
Exactly. I got to get it back.
I feel like it was a good episode. What are your thoughts? Crocious on the episode.
Oh no, absolutely, man. I'm glad we did it because I was bummed out about not being able to do it yesterday because of work. But of course, my mind is already thinking about I'm going to go back, make some food, then open up my emails and start doing some work.
Dog, we're about to make pancakes, eggs. I might go get some sausage from the 99-cent store.
I'm just trying to get. I just am looking forward to this deadline.
Crocious. That'd be funny if you were like, I just want a wife, and you started crying.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Can I ask you a straight up question? Because I was worried about this. You don't think our viewing of 9/11? You think I kept it not as gruesome, right?
Oh, it was fine.
I didn't want it to just be us watching buildings burn.
Yeah. No,
because we could do that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I'm not against
we
it.
have artistic liberty. No, it was fine. September 11th coverage was fine.
Bro, if you want to rewind people falling out of buildings with fucking Benny Hill music, I'm open to it. I just want to wash my soul before and after.
I don't necessarily want to watch. I remember seeing like coverage like after that, where they.
By the way,
you could hear
never
bodies.
do that.
You could hear bodies like hitting the concrete. Like,
yeah,
dude, like the thud noise was like, wow.
By the way, disclaimer: I would never do that. I'm just joking.
I know people who were like,
I'm just joking.
I know, man. I know people who were like, why would they jump out of the building?
Because they're gonna die, dude.
Exactly. It's like, why do you pull your hand away from a hot frying pan?
How do you want to die?
I think a lot of people were just jumped out.
Do you want to burn to death? I've heard from just something that I heard as a kid from a random TV documentary that when you jump from that high up or you fall, you basically have a heart attack and die before you hit the ground. That like rarely are you alive when you hit the ground.
You actually hit the ground.
It's in a skyscraper situation.
Yeah. Oof. Remember that movie about the guy who tight-roped across the Twin Towers?
Yeah. Now I don't know how
that was so fucking 70s.
I don't know
shit like
how
that.
you would get that information. Because to me, that means they're strapping people to fucking buildings. They're strapping heart monitors to people and chucking them off buildings.
Yeah.
Like I heard there was an experiment where they threw 18 cats off a building and saw how many survived.
Oh, God.
And they basically found out that most cats will fucking parachute themselves. That like 10 out of 18 cats, if you throw them off a 5-story building,
were able to live?
will survive. And a lot of them didn't even break their legs or anything because cats go limp in the air and they like fucking raccoon suit.
Wow.
Let me fucking look this up for fucking
crazy.
closure. Because I swear to Christ I read this.
So is this the end of Walking Tall?
Yeah.
This
is the remake. You know the old one. I've never seen the black and white one.
Well, it's not black and white. It was early 70s. Joe Don Baker, Walking Tall. It's a corrupt town in Tennessee, and he takes on the establishment because he wants to walk tall again. People don't want to be ashamed anymore because they want to walk tall.
And he defends the town with a piece of wood.
A 2x4, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Okay.
Yeah, this is kind of an earlier rock movie, right? Isn't this kind of a...
All right, here we go, baby. With scientists unwilling to toss cats off buildings for experimental observation, science has been unable to systematically study the rate at which they live after crashing to the ground. In a 1987 study of 132 cats brought to a New York City emergency veterinary clinic after falls from high-rise buildings, 90% of treated cats survived and only 37% needed emergency treatment to keep them alive. One that fell 32 stories onto concrete suffered only a chipped tooth and a collapsed lung and was released after 48 hours. From the moment they're in the air to the instant after they hit the ground, cats' bodies are built to survive high falls, scientists say. They have a relatively large surface area in proportion to their weight, thus reducing the force at which they hit the pavement. Cats reach terminal velocity, the speed at which the downward tug of gravity is matched by the upward push of wind resistance at a slow speed compared to large animals like humans or horses.
Yep.
For instance, an average-sized cat with his limbs extended achieves a terminal velocity of about 60 miles per hour, while an average-sized man reaches terminal velocity at about 120 miles per hour.
Ooh, yeah.
According to the 1987 study by veterans Wayne Whitney and Cheryl Metcalf.
Good. That was a good piece of scientific information.
So you can throw your cat off your building if you want to.
If you want to do that, give it a shot.
Reading that though made me feel easier when I see people's cats like sitting on windowsills.
Yeah,
and shit
exactly,
like that.
exactly. But
Where cats also will like run down a wall.
Oh yeah, listen, they're athletes. A good cat's an athlete.
Yeah,
they can do it.
Anyway.
Walking Tall. So it takes place in a courtroom drama, the culminating scene?
Well, this is the fucking where...
Is that Johnny Knoxville?
Yes, that's Johnny Knoxville.
Is he the bad guy?
No, he becomes his side sheriff. So here's what happens. The Rock comes back from doing some sort of service. I don't know if it's military or something.
Oh, and now he becomes an attorney?
He comes back to his hometown.
Yeah.
And he finds out that that's his boy from when they were in school.
The white guy with the forehead?
At the beginning, you find out that, like, the town's overrun by criminals.
Yeah.
And The Rock goes to the little tiny casino. I think it's on, like, a Native American reservation.
Yeah.
And he goes in and he throws his big piece of wood through the fucking window, and he finds out that his buddy is the one running the criminal empire in town.
Oh, wow.
So then he fucking gets his piece of wood. He beats the shit out of everybody, and he's in court defending himself for doing what he did. Crocious, I'm just going to spoil it for you. This trial ends with not only him winning, but becoming sheriff of the town.
Is that just get
we have to end it with that look because he shows his scars, bro. He's showing the jury. He's got the jury, dude. Dwayne Johnson has him.
To ignore what they've just seen. Mr. Vaughn, take your seat.
Oh.
Because his friend has everybody bought and paid for, like the town.
Yeah.
So look at him. Look how young Dwayne looked.
Yeah. How old was it? When did this movie come out?
This is shortly after he left WWE. Let me see the year. So
it was like 05, maybe?
Mr. Foreman.
Let me see. 04.
It's 04.
This is the year he left. This is the year he left WWE straight up full time.
That guy was some
not guilty.
You know something? This half-breed biracial. I don't like this guy coming in here and telling us how to live.
Watch.
There you go. That's the big thing of Walking Tall is he basically enacts justice with the fucking 2x4, whatever that is.
He uses other things in this movie, but we have to watch this because the transition of sheriff is great. I didn't realize that. Okay, so
Ferguson Hall.
They rip it down. Here we go. He's just taken over. I didn't realize that he's whittled it down into a big caveman-looking baseball bat.
What is he, fucking Fred Flintstone or something?
Look at him. Plain clothes.
Now I'm doing the sheriff.
Badge on his hip. Takes that shit everywhere.
I got my jeans
This is where the cops are going to put their feet in. They're going to be like, we don't work for you, motherfucker. What do you think Dwayne's going to do?
Well, you won the election.
He kicks some ass is what happens.
Well, we do have
he takes care of business.
Professional courtesy.
Windows are being
I can
smashed.
personally vouch for each and every one of these men. They're good deputies. You're all fired.
He's defunding the town's police.
What the hell is he? This half-breed's gonna tell me how to live my life?
Johnny Knoxville becomes his co-deputy. He falls in love with the lady. This movie ends with a gunfight at this police station where they basically just fire machine gun bullets through the whole thing. He does.
Speaking of which, I watched First Blood last night.
What
for
a
little
great
bit.
movie!
First Blood's a good movie.
What
It's aged pretty well.
It's based on a pretty deep novel. I think the first two Rambos are like one book.
Yeah, because the sequel, written by James Cameron,
he goes back. He had enough.
So bad.
He's home.
It's such an 80s, like, damn it, that Vietnam, we're going to win that war. We're not going to lose. We're not going to give in. We're going to get our MIAs.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
The Rock is pulling him over,
I think this is filmed up in, like, Oregon.
Probably.
This is like where my buddy lives.
Up in the Great Plains where all them fucking
fires are right now.
Butthole touching happens. Yeah, and it's on fire right now.
Yeah, and it's also, plus the protests. Tell you what, Portland's been like ground zero of this whole like social, the thing going on.
I wonder how many sessions of Cousin fucking got interrupted because of the forest fires.
I'm going to go take care of business now.
With his bat, dude. How can he hold that? You wouldn't be able to like
wield
one-hand that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I don't
that's
give
part
a
of how
fuck how
strong
many.
he is.
I don't care how many WWF championships you've won.
License and registration.
That guy was in a Minority Report.
Yeah, he was also in the fucking '97 PGA Tour Championship.
Who?
It looks like a caddy.
What's the problem, Sheriff?
You're gay. That's the problem.
And the drugs are peddling out of your casino.
Huh. Only thing that's going on in my casino right now is construction. You took care of that.
We employ Native Americans with alcohol problems.
If you can, try to think this through.
What about the fire water and Native Americans, man? Man, that
Well,
is sad.
that's part of some racial shit too, because they fucking got them drunk. That's
Absolutely.
like crack with black people, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like for whatever reason, I think a lot of Native Americans getting high
The
on that
vibe
fire
I
water.
get from it, and I can back this up with no fact. I could look it up on Google. I will after
It was made in a lab
after I say
somewhere.
this, I will Google it.
Sure.
I think it was one of those things of because they knew they were gonna fuck them over financially. They were like, let's give them a bunch of fucking. Let's just get them all boozed up, so they're just wandering around drunk.
Dude, have you ever been to a reservation?
Now I'm gonna Google
I have been
why
they are
Native Americans have a high alcohol rate.
It's literally like 80% of the reservation. I mean, it's people literally just laying around on the sauce. It's like, wow. I you see this?
What?
Took out his rear.
Yeah, he fucking hit his rear.
This is my car, man. That's why I have used cars. I expect them to get beaten up.
All right. So, Native American communities suffer from high rates of unemployment, and over 20% of Native Americans live at or below the poverty level,
it's
a
probably
rate
even
more
higher
than
than that.
double that of Caucasians.
Yeah.
Native Americans have below average rates of high school and college completion, with less than 1 in 5 earning a bachelor's degree. The Native American population is also less likely to have health insurance to adequate medical care. The overall economic disadvantage of Native Americans, characterized by poor education, poverty, and limited resources, likely contributes to the prevalent abuse of alcohol amongst this ethnic group.
Yeah. I've heard people think that there's like a almost genetic.
You know what, too?
You hate saying things genetic because it's like, oh, it's racist.
When I went to the Indian reservation, the Native American reservations in fucking Albuquerque, when I would visit my aunt, they would try and like sell you shit. Like I remember one dude trying to like. I noticed they had a TV. It was legitimately like almost mud houses with like modern amenities inside.
Yeah.
And it kind of blew my mind. And I remember some dude being like, oh, if you want to come in here, that's $5. Like he was joking, but part of me, I was just like, he's probably like, if I threw him a $5, he'd probably let me come watch TV with his kid.
Absolutely. I mean, the housing, I had to go to the Red Cliff Nation up near Superior, Wisconsin. And it was like just depressing, man. There's like 8,000 members left. And it's just, they have a casino and it just, there's a real housing issue there. There's no housing that gets built there, and it's very poor quality housing. And there's actually a real like overcrowding because there's a thing, Native American cult.
Tail it off with a little Hallmark movie here.
It just that's your thing. It's funny.
Bro, Christmas is coming. The day after Thanksgiving, the Christmas movies start.
That's true. It's a thing, at least in this nation, that if you show up in the middle of the night as a Native American person, someone knocks on your door, you're obligated to let them stay in your place. So like they'd have like 2-bedroom apartments with like 12 people living in them.
It's like the Masons.
You know what I mean? Or just like it was just like that was the cultural thing. So there wasn't necessarily a homeless problem, but there was an overcrowding problem, which you wouldn't think in this very rural setting. But they had no housing stock, so they were trying to do some tax credit developments up there. But that was sometimes difficult because of the classification of the land up there is sort of different than like the land here. It's its own independent nation. So how do you get the tax benefit? Anyway, but I tell you what, dude,
Taylor down.
I'm cycling down a little bit, cycling it down.
Well, we did it, guys. Thanks for listening. If
I tell you what, these Hallmark movies, they get pretty women in these things,
dude. They're not. And I was telling her these movies we were watching. Oh, I got to tell you about this. So we've watched She's Out of Control with Tony Danza from 1989.
Oh, did you watch that?
Yeah.
How did you experience it? Like, what did it seem really dated?
Well, yeah. It's about a fucking dude trying to fuck a 15-year-old. But then we also watched Can't Buy Me Love with fucking Patrick Dempsey.
Yes.
And it's just so fucking 80s, dude. But these movies all give you hope that like, as long as you don't have fucking like faith in like, as long as you just don't care to write off a project, you're just shitting out work, dude. Anybody could make a movie or a show and it could be successful.
Yeah. Because these Hallmark movies, you mean? Like,
dude, there's people who this is all they make.
Oh, I'm sure.
They like work for Hallmark and they just shit these out.
Yeah.
These movies take 2.5 weeks to make. I worked on one.
Oh, man, it's crazy. Yeah, it's a tight schedule. They can do it.
You're
quickly.
working
It makes
every
sense.
day, 16 hours a day.
Yep, exactly.
Sometimes
that makes sense.
like I went to a church at 3 a.m. for like a nighttime church scene.
Wow.
I'm in a
You're an extra
fucking
in
bounce Christmas movie called A Stone Cold Christmas. I'm an employee at Stone Financial, which they cut me out of the office, but I had a prominent opening the office door and then quickly being afraid of the boss, so I go back in. But Bobby Hill did say I made it into the church scene where I'm praising the Lord. Like you're like praising the Lord while the main character is talking to an angel.
Well, yeah, there's very much this sort of like Christian under.
It was very much it was a Christmas Story, but with a female black lead. She was the head of this place called Stone Financial, and she never took days off. She didn't let her employees take Christmas off. So this year she meets this dude, her like one of this dude she knew from childhood meets up with her again and like is like, oh, you're a cunt now. Like basically calls her out. So the movie, she fucking interacts with 3 ghosts, and one of the ghosts is fucking a really famous Fred Hampton or some bullshit like that. He's like some famous black actor.
Fred the Hammer Williamson?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But because every Hallmark movie that Bobby Hill told me, they get one like big has-been person to like one draw.
Yeah.
So this dude who is like the ghost of future is like the draw. And the church scene was with him, and they were like showing the future.
Where did they film that?
The one office scenes were downtown, right here
How'd
at
you
fucking
score that gig?
7th and Fig. Bobby Hill. He was working production on it.
Oh, okay.
And then the church scenes were in Sherman Oaks at some random fucking church at 2 a.m.
Yep. That's hilarious.
And it was warm ass October, and everything was done up like Christmas. It was not cold.
It's hilarious.
Like I remember sweating my dick off in fucking like wedding clothes or like church Christmas clothes. You had to come.
Oh, they had a wardrobe, or do you have to? You came in your own
If you didn't
clothes?
bring your own shit, they did, but they told you when you got the email they would say bring something you would wear to a nice Christmas party.
Yep.
I went to the Salvation Army and bought clothes. They were impressed with my dress all times. Like my shoes were a killer. They gave me a different shirt a couple of the times.
Yeah.
But I nailed
Some
it.
taste. Good
And
for
Bobby
you,
Hill
man.
said I was he commended me for being professional and nice, because he was like, that's rare. That like when someone hooks their friend up with a gig, usually they're like pieces of shit. He was like you played ball the whole time. He was like, I really appreciate that. Like
I'm a Bobby Hill fan.
You made me look good.
Absolutely, man. All right, man.
Yep, let's wind it down. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever there is podcasts. We are there. We'll see ya.
Nothing ever changes.